Let's do a cheers to the Sobeys and Safer Liquid Beer for the podcast.
Be right again.
I love you guys.
Careful, that cake's hot.
Check-in, come on, let's go. It's the AM Nasty Big Hello. It's not static, AM radio. It's the Cool Bed Red Hot Nielson Show. Let's go. Everybody's tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macromella intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in, he's your dealer for life. Let's crack a 6 o'clock and lager with some sirloin bites.
Look, Cotton Eye both sticking in there. Bobo Bichette. What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Welcome to the show as we kick off another day here on Edmonton Sports Talk. We've got you covered from 6 until 6. And then again at 7:30, which will take you up to an 8:30-ish puck drop, and then a late night for Tommy and Hernan. There's one thing Hernan likes. It's starting the week by being here until midnight or later.
Yes, saying good morning to all the people on the Rock, right?
That's what you want to. That's what you want to do. What's going on, everybody? It's the Nielson Show, brought to you by Southport Chevrolet. 0% financing, OAC up to 72 months, or save $8,000 on the 2025 Silverado 1500s. Drive a little, save a lot at Southport Chev right now. www.southportchev.com. How was your weekend, my man?
Great.
Yeah, good. Good. Thanks for asking. Yes, pretty chill weekend. What do we do?
Did you eat any interesting foods or anything like that?
Nope. Pretty much kept it pretty basic for the most part. Played in the poker tournament last night. Did not go well. I started very well.
It was going well.
I was in first for like 40 minutes in the first hour. I could do no wrong. I had like pocket queens 3 times. Like everything was working out well for me. And then I was up to about 24,000 in chips. I was in like 3rd or 4th place. And I lost about a pot that was about, I don't know, about 6,000, 7,000, 3,000 of my chips. And I swear to God, I didn't win another hand in the next hour and 10 minutes. And I was out. All time cold run. I was extremely frustrated. I don't know who won it though. Who won the poker tournament last night? Somebody let us know.
Just said to hell with it.
Yeah, I left. I was just like, I'm done. I gotta go do work and go to bed. Like,
too much.
I was very angry. As it became dismantled in the second hour of the tourney last night. So I was like, oh, I'm out. Okay, click. Stream's over. But I don't know. I don't know who ended up winning. I'm sure somebody will let us know. Somebody must have been keeping tabs on it. Fire us a text 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. You know, I really like my shirt, but I have to say your shirt takes the cake today.
Too sweet. Yes, sir.
Looks good.
Yes, sir. Well, you had the black on Friday. I figured I'd go with the blue today.
Makes sense.
One of the two styles of the EST NWO mashup. They're flying off the rack.
Yeah, they seem to be going pretty good, eh?
Yeah.
The rack is just getting hammered right now.
The rack is great. Kingsway is where I went, but any of the other locations. Maybe try the outlet by the airport. That might be the sneaky one if you're looking still for a size for you that could be there. But yeah, great. Feels good.
Yeah,
good fit.
It's a nice fit. It's a nice fit. It's a good feel.
Material, yeah.
Adora 780 did an absolutely wonderful job. If you've not yet checked it out, all of it, you know, the 780, I don't know if it was the same look at, but the one at Southgate, like the outside of the store just stands out on its own compared to every other store in that mall.
Graphics.
Like, yeah, very cool.
I got some socks and a candle for my wife as well.
I bought a 780 hat.
Good.
It's the blue one with like the orange sort of like 780. It's a nice looking lid.
It's a shop where you walk in and you got to take a moment because there's a lot of stuff.
Oh, there's tons of stuff.
Yeah, you got to kind of,
and it smells terrific.
Yeah, you got to focus.
I told the lady that at Southgate. I said, "Wow, it smells great in here." And was the till at your store like a truck bed?
That I don't recall.
Okay, mine was like
in a
truck bed. Like the till was like in a truck bed, and they slid your. It was so cool.
Like a sleeper, like a
small little truck. It was like the back of the truck. It was kind of neat. I have to say, it was pretty cool. I see Nacho Man picked up his shirt at St. Albert's Center. So St. Albert's Center, Londonderry, Kingsway, Outlet Mall by the airport, and Southgate are the 780 locations where you'll be able to go and pick up your EST shirt right now. I think they were moving pretty good over the weekend, so that's good. Savage the Plumber got 7th in the tourney. Huss finished 12th. And somebody say, oh, you know who won? Cliff Don't Miss. Cliffy Harris.
No way.
That was Cliffy Harris.
Cliff.
Well, yeah.
He's a killer. Stone cold.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, Cliff Don't Miss.
I think that was his first one that he was in, too. And he ends up taking it down, takes down the pot.
Beating him in the round robin at the media spiel will go down as one of the top sporting events of my life.
As it should.
Like, I mean, that was just...
As it should. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer a thumbs up for your boys. We would very much appreciate that. If you're like brand new here and you're like, wow, guys, I like what you're doing. Well, we have the hangout today from 9 till 11. The lock shop from 11 to 12. The oil stream from 12 until 1. EST afternoons with Hernan. And I think Gager's on mandated time off. Even though he's... Maddie's just making everybody take time off. Wow. So I think Gager's off this week. He said he might still come by and hang out from 1 to 3. And then the Reed Wilkins returns from mandatory vacation. And he'll be back with Glue Guy from 3 to 6 today. So busy day here.
I told Maddie I'd have vacation days this week just to get him off my case.
Yeah, you're just like, okay, man, fine.
I was like, I'll give you some.
Give me a couple.
I'm thinking about it.
Michael Yankee over in the Nasty Chat says that truck is only at that location.
Yeah, they're all a little different, I think. Even the layout from what Nacho Man sent in, they have the shirts folded up on another thing.
We were on the rack.
The rack at Kingsway.
Nothing against folded shirts.
No,
but it's cool being on the rack. It's kind of exciting to walk into a store. And when I walk into the one at Southgate and I'm wearing my EST sweater, the gray sweater. And the lady in there, nice lady, she goes, hey, we just put your shirts up. I said, yes, that's why I'm here. It's gonna be good.
You.
Lingus in the Paris Jewelers inbox today, where you can buy now and do not pay until 2026. They've got 22 stores across 4 provinces, including West Edmonton Mall, Kingsway, where 780 is as well, Londonderry, where 780 is as well, Sherwood Park Mall, and then St. Albert Center that also has a 780 location. So there are 3 malls. This is like going back in Endgame and collecting the Infinity Stones. There are 3 of them in New York at the same time. This is what it's like. You could go hit up Paris Jewelers, get a lovely jewelry gift for yourself or someone you love, and then go get a T-shirt from 780 as well. Lingus texts and says, I just doubled my visits to St. Albert Mall from 0 to twice in the last 5 years. 780 was closed on Friday after work. I arrived at 6:20 and the sign on the door stating they will return at 7 p.m. A thief strikes again, that weasel. But it was open on Saturday and I scored an EST shirt. Priceless. I do like poor thief catching strays out here this morning. Uh-oh, Meat is in. We got the update on Meat. Good morning, gentlemen. He was the guy who was bidding on the home and needed the advice from Bunting. What a way to get the show going.
Well,
And
here
we've got lots of stuff to get to, but this is a community, and we like to know when nasties buy new homes. Good morning, gentlemen. Well, it's official. Me and my fiance are moving. We got the house after the conditions period ended on Friday. Changed our original offer from $565 to $535 after the inspection.
Okay.
Classic inspection move. We move in May 1st. Can I get a conch for being a new homeowner? Cheers, Meat. So we ended up getting it at $565, which remember we were talking, wasn't even in the $550 range, and we're like, you probably got to take it a little bit higher. But then they had to knock down $30,000 after the inspection.
What is the inspection? Like, I
remember.
Send us a copy.
When we moved from our house in Terwilliger to the one in the Hamptons now, it was like 2 days away from me having to carry 2 mortgages for a month. And I was like, man, I can't do this. I can't pay for 2 houses in the same month. No. So these people put in an offer on our other house. And I was just like, okay, they're like, we'll do the inspection. Okay, did the inspection. And then they're like, we want a new roof. We want you to put on a new roof. I'm like, how am I going to put on a new roof? Like, I want to get this deal done right now. So I think we knocked like $3,500 off the price and called it a day.
It's the gift of that guy doing the...
Oh, it's just... I mean, you can... Like,
excuse me?
You can screw everybody over in an inspection. Come on.
Like, that's why it's kind of a... Says the numbers after inspection. But congratulations. Room for one more, perhaps?
Yeah. Do you have a basement suite that you would like to let Trev in on? Trev, you have a quick update on the living situation, right? You looked at a couple places over the weekend.
Yep, that's what my.
And you've placed an offer.
I have made an offer.
An offer has been
placed.
Nice.
Yeah, this guy was cool, actually. The only thing,
it's closer to Sherwood Park than here, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. But I mean, I don't have the luxury time. Time is ticking every day. I'm like getting a little bit more nervous. But yeah, I mean, it's right by Rundle Park, which is cool because it's there's a real nice disc golf course.
There is a nice disc golf course
and
there.
I happened to be disc golfing with the bro and sister-in-law over the weekend.
Nice.
And then I messaged the guy. I'm like, yeah, can I come over now? And then it was like a 2-minute drive. I was like, you know what? I actually could get used to that.
Do you think it's a sign? Like,
I would really like that.
At this time of day.
Oh,
whatever.
I mean, traffic's nothing at this time of day.
Yeah, and so
zip over
that's,
here.
yeah, that's not too bad. So yep, that's
So
the
you-
update.
do
I was
you-
the first one to send my application for this place.
You were. You know
And
what
he
he
was-
thinks you are right now, hey, Trev? You're an eager beaver.
Oh yeah, he's
Yeah.
like, I will say, and he's a Russian. He's like, this is very good. No one else sent it, so you did. I'm like, oh, thank you. I like this.
Well, I mean, you better get it if nobody else sent one in.
In the backyard, he's like, "There's a garden here. If you like garden," I'm like, "Yep, I'll garden. I'll clean or whatever." I was.
You're gonna garden now.
Yeah.
What's the bathtub situation like?
It's not the nicest tub, but it's not the worst.
So but you can have baths in this tub.
I can bathe. Yes.
Okay. All right.
And
I mean, that's
will.
okay.
Yep.
Trev, when he saw the bathtub situation at the new place.
I was expecting to, try it. I was
Yes.
going to say, it's okay, not the best, not the worst. But it is surprisingly good.
That's you.
Yeah,
That's
never know.
you.
Yeah.
You never know.
You never know.
You should
right?
ask for a preemptive bath.
Yeah, but
Before you make any, before I
do you
sign,
mind
let me
if I
derobe and just
everything's good. Yeah. Could I just bathe? I want
Yeah, one bath.
I need to make sure if I'm staying here, I need to have a good bath.
That would be good. Jared in the chat says, wait, what happened to Trev's place? Well, Jared, if you were around last week, we did give you the update that his landlord basically said,
Get out.
get out, and to give him like a month's notice. So he's in a mad scramble right now.
It's okay. I'll figure it out.
All right, we are halfway home to 100, so hammer the thumbs up, 6 o'clockers. Let's definitely do that.
it's Vladdy Day.
We do have an Oilers
We should
game
get
to get to.
500 likes on the show today.
I mean,
dude.
for Vladdy,
for the Bills.
we need a like for every single $1 million that Vladdy got. That's 500 today, folks. Hammer the thumbs up for us. We're gonna get to all that right away. Morning announcements coming up. 6:30. I've got what I think could be not a popular bone to pick in a awards race. I'm going to get into that just after 6:30 today. The good, bad, and ugly from the weekend. That is where I will address the Duke Blue Devils losing on Saturday.
I was going to say, yeah.
I'm getting to it during the good, bad, and ugly.
Good.
No, it's not the good. It's the ugly. It's the ugly. I mean, just spoiler alert. My ugly today is Duke absolutely blowing it and ripping my freaking heart out on Saturday.
Flag at half-mast, eh?
Oh, man, that was frustrating. Dregs is going to join us just after 7 o'clock today. We'll build an EST parlay for the Oilers and the Ducks tonight. Will the Oilers score? Find out at 8:30. The Fan Zone for fansfirst.ca. We'll go there around 7:30 today. That's a good for the Italian Center. That'll be 7:45. Third hour's Jam 2. Kind of easy trivia. 3 questions too many. A GCL Diesel Orange and Blue breakfast. Plus Ryan Rishaug. He's a local podcaster from the Got Your Back pod. He'll be by around 8:30. Marmot Basin Snow Report and the wrap for William Huff. Penner's Pancakes is suggesting 895 thumbs up today. That might be asking quite a bit. Let's get in your morning announcements for 100.3 The Bear. You can record every single morning, and the lovely Jess Jackson on the way home. Adam in Quebec City is saying Trevor should ask his potentially new landlord whether or not he knows Victor, the Russian spa guy. That would be good, hey?
I would assume, hey? Get a little bit of a deal, a little cut. Does he know Zach?
That'd be nice. I'd like that. Victor could put in a good word for me. I always wave to him on the way out.
Do you?
Oh, yeah.
When he's smoking or sitting in his car?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that guy.
He's very interesting.
We were joking last week when the internet was messing with us a bit. Victor came up to check that our internet was out too.
Oh, yeah.
And he kind of just slowly opened the door like Bizarro Kramer. And he was on the phone and he was just like, you guys' internet's out as well. It's just like, yeah, he goes, I'm on hold. And Maddie was on hold at the same time.
Oh, perfect.
And Victor's like, how long? And Maddie's like, 24 minutes. He goes, I'm also at 24 minutes. And then he popped up again. I was telling the boys, I said, man, if we were a sitcom here, a Victor popping in on his phone all the time just to check on stuff would be a great character.
I like that.
I love that guy. Man. Victor downstairs is an absolute beauty. He's the best. All right. We got to start with OV. Then we'll get to Vladdy. Alexander Ovechkin. Thought, man, I wanted him to do it so bad. Friday night had the 20-1 ticket. I also had the parlay that the Blue Jays had blown earlier in the day.
For an American sports audience, though, the Sunday afternoon is always better than the Friday night.
Nobody loves sports.
Yeah, you bury it on the Friday night. You bury it. You know, it's just buried. That's where people release things on Friday. Yesterday, perfect. And then
he actually broke the record in the morning.
And broken records for price points for Islanders home games, I think, as well, right?
Yeah.
Some of those tickets, what they were going
well,
for.
there were still, like, let's say, some empty seats in the lower bowl. Tam was like, how come this game's not sold out? And then I saw some of the prices. But Alexander Ovechkin gets it in the most Alexander Ovechkin fashion. Like, as soon as they got the power play, the Nielson family was like, to attention, standing, watching. We're like, this is it.
Take your positions.
Like, he's going to get it. And then sure enough, on the rush, Tommy Wilson, longtime teammate, feeds it across. And Ovi fires it home past Sorokin, turns, dives, slides, gets up. The Selly is on. Wayne Gretzky's there. Gary Bettman's there. Obviously, Ovi's family's there. Backstrom and Oshie were in the house. It was, I thought it was all done really well. Like, I loved watching it live. Massive celebration in the Nielsen household. I've been an Ovi guy since I started in 2009 at TSN or Team 1260 back then. And it was cool to see. It's crazy to see any Wayne Gretzky record fall, but this is a pretty significant one. And not only did Ovechkin get there, but he didn't get there just sort of hanging around. Second in the league in goals per game this year, behind only your Edmonton Oiler, Leon Draisaitl, and is on arguably the best team in the entire league this year. So, I mean, there's really nothing to criticize about. I know people are like, look at all the empty netters. Well, whatever. He scored a ton of power play goals. Gretzky had a ton of shorthanded goals. I don't know. I thought it was a perfect way for this thing to go down. Outside of maybe that game being at home, but it was still a great reaction because they're just hockey fans in the house. Like,
there's lots of different narratives that I mean, you look at playing against maybe the Penguins and Sid or something like that, or playing on home ice, or playing on a Wednesday night on Amazon Prime or something like that. But it happens when it happens, and I think for the main thing is it did happen. That's who cares how it comes, how it goes, where it is, who it's off of.
Job's done.
Job's done, exactly. So it happened, and we're all better off for it now. Witnessing history. What a thing.
Yeah, it was.
I cried.
I mean, I'll remember watching it with my wife and my kids.
Did you cry? I cried.
To be honest with you.
My wife and I cried, and then we embraced, and then we cried more.
No, you didn't.
No, I did.
Okay. I was going to say, I think I did tear up a little bit. I'm
Okay,
not
well,
gonna
that's
lie.
no. That,
I wasn't full-blown crying, but I was like, I was emotional
Yes.
enough that I didn't
Wasn't
look at
poor-
my
yeah,
wife.
sure, yeah.
Like, I was sitting there watching on the couch, and I was like,
I have to go to the
yeah,
other room.
I mean, I was like, it's okay. I'm gonna be okay here.
Then you're downplaying it because you don't want to like.
But I mean, people who know listen to the show for a long time. I'm a big OV guy.
Sure.
Like, I have an autographed framed jersey. I've got an autographed photo of the goal from his rookie season when he's laying on his back. Got a nice canvas of him lifting up the Stanley Cup.
Well, those
So I've
all
always
bump up a bit now, eh?
Well,
Like, I mean,
if anybody's looking for an autographed photo of the goal, let me know. I can move it. And then I told Tam yesterday about the time. I've told you about the time I interviewed Ovechkin, right?
I think
It was Trev. Have I told you this before? So
I just love the Mike Tyson interview. That's the
love that one. I talked to him
that's
briefly.
top of the
Yeah. So I was covering the draft in Vancouver for the website hockeyfuture.com. Great prospect website. I used to write and do like podcasts before podcasts were a thing really with them when I was like 22, 23. And they sent me to the draft in Vancouver, 2006 draft. It was the Jonathan Taves draft, I believe. And so the draft goes. Ovi was there, won the Calder Trophy, kind of a big deal that year. And I'm at the Vancouver airport flying home, having A&W for breakfast, actually. And Alexander Ovechkin and his family walk into the food court at the Vancouver airport. And I'm sitting here, I was just like, holy smokes, there's Ovechkin. And it's funny because he was carrying like a cardboard cutout of himself on the cover, I believe, of the video game and his like keeper Calder Trophy. It was like this big. So he's carrying this around. He was only 20. I think I was like 24-ish. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to go ask him. Like, I had my little like digital recorder that you used to use back in the day. So I went up and I was like, yeah, Alex, do this thing for Hockey's Future, like a prospect website. I get a couple minutes with you. And so, yeah, I interviewed him for like 2.5 minutes. Couldn't understand a word he said. Like, I couldn't even really play it anywhere because it was just, he could barely speak English at the time. But yeah, that was my Ovechkin one-on-one
That's pretty cool.
story from when he was like 20 years old.
Oh, I wish.
Yeah.
Huge props for you.
What a
going
boss
up.
move,
That's
though.
so sick. Yeah.
Like for him to be walking around the airport with his keeper Calder Trophy and
Cardboard
a
cutout.
cardboard cutout of yourself, which
That's
I just
awesome.
thought was absolutely hilarious. And I was trying to dig that interview up last night on like one of my old laptops.
Damn.
And I couldn't find it. Kinda
Hockey's
pissed me
Future
off.
probably in their archives.
Hockey's Future
it's somewhere sitting away in a.
Hockey'sfuture.com doesn't exist anymore. The HF Boards obviously still lives on, and that's where that came
It's
from.
on a
but
hard drive somewhere in somebody's like it's like
It has to be
it has-
somewhere.
it's somewhere. It
has
none
to
of that
be
stuff
somewhere.
goes away for good, right?
But yeah. It's it was pretty cool. All right, keep the text messages rolling in 780-218. So we'll always remember that the day that Ovechkin set the all-time record, Vladdy got paid. Now,
And
what
the Lakers
about
beat the Thunder.
Eastern time? Well, to be honest with
Banner
you.
day.
To be honest with you. That might be what ends up being the most memorable thing for me.
If you're ranking them, yeah. I mean,
Yeah. So it was what a glorious Sunday. So so Saturday night, Tam went to bed and I was like, I'm gonna sit downstairs, watch some TV. And then I had a bunch of work I was gonna come in and do yesterday here. But I did a bunch of it on Saturday night. And so yesterday she took the kids to the park or something. And she's like, are you gonna go into work? I said, yeah, I think I might go into work. And this was after the Ovi goal. I did a break yesterday looking for McDavid Young Gun. Didn't get it. We got a Celebrini. And then in the McDavid year, we actually did get Rantanen and Panarin, which is actually kind of nice. So they went to the park and I was like, I don't know if I necessarily need to come into work today. Like there wasn't anything pressing that I needed to do in the office. So I sat down and I watched the entire Lakers Thunder game. And then right after I had a little nap. Like it was a great Sunday afternoon.
beautiful.
Great Sunday afternoon. And then Vladdy signs late last night, $500 million. We were saying for the last 3 months, And by the way, the Lakers dismantled the Thunder. I mean, it was child's play. Like, that's the best team in the league. Are you kidding me? Lakers in 5. Anyway, we've been saying forever, they got to pay Vladdy. They have no choice. And in the end, he gets his $500 million. None of it's deferred. Remember, they were trying to defer a bunch of it.
Yeah.
None of it's deferred. He gets $500 million. If you don't keep him, what do you become? You know what I mean? Like,
irrelevant.
They basically had to do this, didn't they?
You're irrelevant. You're coasting away in that sea of, and you don't know when you're going to get out. So this is big, especially his ties to Canada. Like, of all players, he's a guy that, his daddy, the Expos, the whole thing. You hear it in the song. I mean, that's type of tugs in the heartstrings there. But no, Atkins springs out of the cuck chair
to get to work
late Sunday just to lock this puppy down. So Vlad got the bag. I mean, I don't know what do you expectations team wise now. I mean, 14 years, $500 million building around him. Obviously, he'll be here, but it's just now that he's got it, right? And I think this type of player too. There has been the term of lazy that's popped up over the years with him sometimes. I don't know. But you do this to remain relevant. And whatever happens afterwards, World Series, whatever, you got your star, right? That's what matters. That's what matters in baseball. Getting the star, giving him the bag, you're not irrelevant.
Yeah, they're an organization that could be $500 million to someone. Like, and after you tried to give even more money to other guys, you had to give it to one of your own.
This is after the NHL rights deal. I mean,
yeah.
They got money to spend here.
I do not think Sportsnet will be bidding on the Canadian Football League television rights.
Well, I mean, if they can afford this,
I don't think there's going to be anything left in the cupboards. All right, 780-218-9999. Vladdy gets done. We haven't even got to the Oilers getting shut out. We will get to Frederick. Trent Frederick makes his debut. It's limited. Looks like he's banged up again. When will we see him again? We'll try to get into that a little bit during the good, bad, and ugly as well. Piss Jug texts in this morning. Hey, boys, PJ here. Ovi breaks Gretzky's record against the Islanders. Who did Gretzky score his final goal against? Also the Islanders. Cool moment. The entire crowd jumped up screaming. Sounded like a home team goal. You know what I liked the most? I liked Dylan Strome's reaction. Dylan Strome started jumping like he won the Stanley Cup. Like, he was just like, I thought that was pretty cool.
Good for Andrew Mangiapane, hey? Part of history. The whole team. You can't take it away from any of them.
You're right. They're all a part of history. They're all part of it. Including Ryan Leonard, who ruined it on mind you, Ovi said he wasn't going to score in the empty netter anyway. Yeah. When Leonard scored that empty netter, I was like, damn you. Damn you to hell. Like, this is supposed to be a time to get the Hattie and cash a 21 ticket. But that did not happen. All right, your thoughts on the Oilers over the weekend. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Mikey is in. It says, Russian spa guy Victor slowly opening the EST door while on his phone. Is that the start of a great adult film? Oh, Victor, what are you doing here? All right, we'll get to Timber Woods was wondering, like, only a painting? They only gave him a painting?
Well,
Ovi got the painting. Like, there's got to be more coming down the pipe here, I would think.
He gets whatever he wants now.
Congratulations. Here's a painting of Wayne Gretzky in here. I mean, I would think, as Wayne Gretzky said when he broke the record, he got a Rolls Royce.
Oh.
So I don't know if there's a Rolls Royce coming from Ovi either, but I'm sure he'll get more than just a painting.
He'll get his.
Now, it was from a painting, from a painter, an artist that he collects. So maybe that's kind of cool. All right, 780-218-9999. Keep them coming in. I got a bone to pick. We're going to get into this.
I think Sorokin gave him a stick as well.
Did he?
So
that's nice.
You get the painting and the
that's nice
goaltender stick.
Good, bad, and ugly from the weekend. Dregs and Rishaug on the way today as well. If you were watching over on YouTube, hammer the thumbs up for us. We're 15 away from changing 100. Let's do that right now. But before that, Bids for Kids event going down tomorrow. Eric's got more details on that. Should be a fun night with myself, Reed Wilkins, Trey and Tyrell Ford. Very much looking forward to it. Rick's got more details on that after the update.
Alex Ovechkin making history yesterday. Goal 895, passing Wayne Gretzky's all-time record in a Capitals 4-1 loss to the Islanders. Oilers will wrap up a 4-game road trip in Anaheim tonight. Join Tom Gazzola, Hernan Salas, the GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows here on EST. Coverage starting at 7:30. Other action yesterday, Vegas edging Vancouver 3-2. The Wild over the Stars 3-2 in overtime. Habs would top the Preds 2-1. Montreal have won 5 in a row. Detroit defeating the Panthers 2-1, and the Sens blank Columbus 4-zip Ottawa. 2 points back of Florida for third in the Atlantic. The Toronto Blue Jays agreeing to terms with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. on a 14-year deal worth $500 million. Jays swept over the weekend by the Mets following yesterday's 2-1 loss. The 5-5 Jays road trip will continue later today against the Red Sox. That opens a 4-game set. First pitch 4:45. Back over to hockey. The Oil Kings dropped Game 6 at home to the Raiders 4-3 yesterday. Game 7 will go tomorrow night back in Prince Albert. Luka Doncic 30 points as the Lakers top the West leading Thunder 126-99. Raptors over the Nets 120-109. Celtics beating the Wizards 124-90, and the Cavs falling to Sacramento 120-113. Boston 4 games back of Cleveland for first in the East. March Madness final goes tonight, 6:50 from the Alamo Dome. Number 1 Houston taking on number 1 Florida. Over to curling, Scotland capturing gold at the World Men's Championships with a 5-4 victory over Switzerland yesterday. Canada's Brad Jacobs would pummel China in the bronze medal game 11-2. An American Brian Harmon wins the Valero Texas Open by 3 strokes at 9 under. Opening round from Augusta and the Masters will get underway on Thursday. Join Dustin Nielsen, Reed Wilkins, Trey, and Tyrell Ford and other special guests tomorrow at the Bell in Scona for Edmonton Sports Talk Bids for Kids, presented by GS Construction. A live on location show featuring a delicious appetizer buffet, silent auction 50/50, and more. Tickets are limited. Find them today, www.kidsportbidsforkids.com.
What say you? Hey, nasty crew. We got the Nielson Show flu, and there's nothing we can do about it. What say you? Hey, nasty crew. My wife thinks I got better things to do, but there's nothing I can do about it. We're tuning in, we're listening online. We catch up with the podcast when we fall behind. We're texting in the nasty chat, what's on our mind. 780-218-9999. No more interference from corporate interest. Just Tati and Eric and all of the bad cats like Brzezinski and Noodles. Captain can gauge it. Maybe it's fun but a cool bed to make a little wager. We can't wait for the Monday mandate. Shaggy's always on time. Tommy's always late.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Forget about the old place. Hey, we were number 1 in the text race. We don't miss all the commercial breaks, but we sure miss Nickelback today. We wanna hear some hot takes and we wanna hear Renee. Why not hold the neck up when I wanna kiss away? Beat left the tire fire and remember that name. We love every goal song, but what about the games? Macramel, Rapaport, Dreger, and Janier. It ain't Christmas season, but they sound like reindeer. Button and my cousin and the tales of the North. All about them human person, does he go forth? What say you? AM Nasty Crew. We got the Nielson Show flu, and there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it.
Oh, there's nothing you can do about it except hammer the thumbs up on YouTube. We're pretty much changing 100 very quickly, so do it. It's 6:34 on the Nielsen Show. Thank you very much for being here today. The good, bad, and ugly from the weekend coming up around 6:45 today. We'll dive into Trent Frederick's debut with the Edmonton Oilers. Could kind of fall into a few of those categories.
I guess so. Yeah.
I do declare. So we'll get into that. Darren Dreger just after 7 o'clock today. We'll obviously get to Ovechkin breaking the all-time record, setting up the Oilers and the Ducks tonight. The Oil with a chance to wrap up this road trip 3-1, despite being very much banged up. So we'll get into that as we continue to work our way through the show today. If you'd like to chime in anytime, 780-218-9999. That'll get you to the Paris Jewelers inbox, and one of your text messages will win text of the day, which will get you a gift certificate to A&W, where we are expecting a teen burger drop at some point this week. They're going to be bringing it by. Yeah.
Could be right now.
I suggested around 8:30 in the morning.
Have you checked the room?
They might be in there right now. Whale and the Wolf might actually have.
And it's game day.
And it's game day. Fantastic deal. Mama Burger and fries for just $5 only at A&W, Canada's original burger chain since 1956. Eric was talking about the Bids for Kids event. This bad boy is going down tomorrow. We would love to get all you nasties out to the event. Myself, Trey and Tyrell Ford, and the legendary Reed Wilkins will be, Mark Connolly hosts it.
Yep.
It's going to be a fun little night. You pop by after work, join us for a few hours. Mark Connolly, there'll be a couple of speeches.
You guys will be sitting on those high stools?
Last year we were in regular chairs.
Really? Okay.
I wouldn't mind the high stool.
These events, you always have those high, like,
it would be nice.
Or the director's chairs.
Kind of lean a bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't think that's the case, but good suggestion. And then they'll throw it over to us. We'll do like a 45-minute hot stove with myself, Reed, and the Ford brothers, which should be a lot of fun. If you're in attendance, you can text in questions and stuff like that, or come up and give you the mic. You can ask a question. There's an appetizer buffet. There's a nice silent auction. It's all raising money for a good cause, all to raise money for the kids sport so all kids can play. Grant program. Get your tickets right now. www.kidsportbidsforkids.com. And we very much look forward to seeing you there tomorrow. Bell and Scona, if you want to swing by even earlier, have a couple bevies. The Reed Wilkins Show will be doing their show live from the lower level inside the Bell and Scona, and then the event will take place upstairs. Nice little spot they got there. So should be, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm very much looking forward to it. Good, bad, and ugly from the weekend coming up as well. And then some Ovechkin talk with Darren Dreger just after 7 o'clock today. I did say I have a bone to pick with an award race right now. And I said it might not be a popular take. And I know many of you are probably being like, oh, Dusty's going to say Hellebuck should win. And that's the end of this guy because he's an Edmonton guy and Draisaitl should win. That's not what this is about. You're going to hate it even more.
Oh.
You're going to hate me even more right now. I got an NBA take.
All right.
I got an NBA MVP take.
All right.
And it's blasphemous because I'm going to go against the Canadian kid, SGA. But there's no way Jokic isn't the MVP. There's no way. He's averaging almost a 30-point triple-double for the season. SGA doesn't have a triple-double this season. Like, Jokic has over 30. He's averaging like 29, 12. And he's third in the league in points, second in the league in rebounds, second in the league in assists, and I think he's tied for second in the league in steals. I mean, I get it. His team doesn't have 65 wins or whatever. But Jokic is the MVP. I don't know how, and it's crazy because if you look at the odds makers, like SGA's running away with it. But he averages like 2 more points per game than Jokic. Jokic is better in every other aspect of the game. I don't understand why Jokic isn't going to be the MVP. When you average a 30-point triple-double, you're the MVP of the league. And you know why SGA scores more points? Because he shoots the ball more than anybody in the league. Simple as that. And he gets the free throw line more than anybody else in the league. I don't get it. I mean, Jokic should be the betting favorite in my opinion. Instead, he's like this huge underdog. Now I have a theory on this. According to my theory, Jokic is allowed to win one more MVP. He's allowed to get one more. But he'll never win 2 more, no matter how good he is, because they will never, in the history of this league, let somebody else win 5 MVPs. Because that's where Jordan maxed out. LeBron got to 4 very early in his career, and then it's like, no, you can't have an MVP anymore, because then you would tie MJ, and we can't have anybody bring down the mythical creature that we've created in MJ. So Jokic should probably already have 4. This should be his 5th. They won't give it to him. If Jokic gets 5 MVPs in his career, I will be stunned. Absolutely stunned. This dude should be the front runner right now. Just go watch these 2 teams play. Jokic does everything. SGA is a brilliant scorer. Don't get me wrong. But Jokic, what did I see? I was looking up field goal attempts so far this season. SGA is at 1,600 and something. Jokic isn't even at 1,300. He's taken 300 fewer shots than SGA and is averaging a couple points less per game, but is the best in every other. It doesn't make any sense to me.
32 triple doubles.
Yes, he's averaging a 30-point triple double. That guy's not going to win the MVP because SGA has 32 points and his team's in first. I don't get it. I don't understand how it's at least not like a 50-50. Like,
you're not even throwing Jason Tatum into. You haven't even said his name once.
Nobody will talk about Jason Tatum. But people are trying to make Steph the MVP all of a sudden.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? Before they got Jimmy Butler, they weren't even a playoff team. Steph had 3 points last night. You know who else had 3 points last night? Bronny James played like 3 minutes. Like, there's Jokic. I don't know why I got, but Jokic is the MVP. I do not understand. I don't understand how it is. Colton Hoppy. Colton, you shouldn't have done this today. This was not supposed to be a LeBron rant, but it's the exact same thing. Colton says, defensive player of the year. MJ has it. LeBron doesn't. That's a deciding argument right there. Can I cook on this one for a second?
Please.
Most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. So the year before MJ wins the defensive player of the year, he doesn't win it the year before and he bitches about it. Same way he went to Stern and said, you have to change the rules for me, which is a thing. Go look it up. So Michael Jordan the next year wins the MVP, the defensive MVP, after complaining publicly that he didn't win it the year before. Then he wins it. It was proven last year that his stats at home were being padded by the stats guy who he actually had on his payroll because he was making a scrapbook for him. So that's his one defensive player of the year. It was clearly fraudulent. And then LeBron, the year he should have won defensive player of the year, the coaches voted him the best player, defensive player of the year. He was on the first all defense team. But the guy who actually gets voted defensive player of the year by the media is Marc Gasol, who didn't even make first all-team defense. Tell me how that works. The guy doesn't even get voted first all-team defense, and he wins defensive player of the year. That's like somebody winning the Hart Trophy, but not being on the first all-star team. And you know why they couldn't give LeBron a defensive player of the year? Because MJ had one. And you know why Jokic can't win 5 MVPs? Because Jordan's won 5 MVPs. It's pathetic. The NBA media is stuck in the 90s, and I've never seen anything so sad in my entire life.
Zulu says it's the instant fire up Dusty topic. John Chan chimes in. LeBron is a flopper and whiner. MJ is still the GOAT.
I will gladly send you videos of Michael Jordan. The worst flop I've ever seen was actually Jordan. Takes a shot, goes down, lays there, ball comes off the hoop, comes towards him. He bounces back up and runs down the floor with it. Like, this just, classic. All your stupid narratives can be proven. It's this living in the 90s that is ruining the NBA because there was like, have you seen the bad boy Pistons? Go look at the other teams. It was the most watered down decade in the history of the league because there were 6 expansion teams and they all sucked. Like, sorry, 90s basketball was like, yeah, it was okay, but let's stop pretending it's the greatest thing of all time. I don't even want to talk about this anymore. My point here is that Jokic should win the MVP, but they won't give it to him because it would take him closer to the Jordan conversation, and you can't have that. It's pathetic. It's embarrassing as a league, to be honest with you. So what else?
Feels good. Nas26 says Jordan number 1.
That's fine. If that's how you view it. To be honest with you, number 1's probably Kareem, but nobody wants to say it. There's an article. If you go look at somebody in like 89 on an article on a magazine was like, Michael Jordan, the greatest to ever play, hadn't won a title yet. How are you telling him the greatest ever when it's all about titles? Kareem's got 6 MVPs and 6 titles. It's probably Kareem if you really want to get into it.
Surveyor Brett asks, what will Dusty eat if he does get 5 MVPs?
I will eat whatever you want. They won't give him 5 MVPs. I'll tell you this right now. He should be running away with it this year. They're not going to give it to him. Like, the NBA media will never grant Jokic. They'll give him a 4th one, but they will not give him a 5th MVP. I promise you that.
Well, he's got to earn it.
30-point triple-double.
Just give him to him.
30-point triple-double. Not going to win the MVP this year. It's absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous. All right, 780-218. That's the end of the basketball talk for today.
It was a different game. Some would say better than today's game due to all the trays.
You couldn't even play proper defense back then. All right, anyway, 780-218. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Text response, as expected. I really don't care. I mean, it's just...
Pretty brave of you to do this right on a Monday of all day. Fridays, people are a little more loose and free. They'll let you go.
But here I am on a Monday.
Ooh,
I don't even care.
It's a little spicy.
I'm scorched earth today.
Yeah.
I'm scorched earth. Sheldon on a parts desk says, Dusty, if it's about rings, Bill Russell doesn't go. Yeah, but it's only about rings and the Jordan conversation. It's not. I mean, John Havlicek's got 9 rings and 8 rings and won a Finals MVP.
Yeah, Patty Maroon's got a lot of rings too. Eh?
I saw somebody texting about that earlier today too. I could not get to that conference like that one.
Well, but
OV had a greater career than Sid. Like that'll never. That was a text in earlier today. I'm not sure we needed to get to that. Anyway. You guys all watch Jokic dominate the league for 5 or 6 more years and not win 2 MVPs because they can't give him as many as Jordan. And then you can talk to me in half a decade and be like, Dusty, you were right. This is ridiculous because he should have it this year.
You should start a separate pod, NBA conspiracy theories.
There's only one. There's only one conspiracy theory.
But people come for that, but then they realize that it is only one and you only talk about the one. And it's almost the same episode day after. You should really, a tight one, like 10 minutes. 10 minute pod. And just the
I should just do a 10-minute pod of why LeBron's the GOAT every day.
Every day.
I could do it.
I don't tell you.
Nas26 says Jokic only has 3, doesn't he? Yeah, that's right. That's what I said. Jokic has 3. This should be 4, and then that would be his max. They wouldn't give him another one. So maybe they're just saving this one to give him another one anyway. And then he's got one more. He's got one more in him. And then they'll start giving it to other people because nobody can win 5. It's impossible. All right, let's get into our good, bad, and ugly from the weekend. Lieutenant Eric, what's your good? Where are you going with for your good today?
Well, it's got to be the Jays. It's got to be Jays and not on-field Jays. I mean, we went into the weekend. They were competing for a pennant. 5-5, which is still fine, but swept over the weekend by the Mets. But it's the Vladdy deal. That's the vibe.
That is exciting.
That's the vibe. It's good, and it's good for Jays fans. Long suffering, I get it. And as we said earlier, this is a relevant move. This is Atkins getting off the wallet, getting up off that chair that sits precariously in the corner of the hotel room and saying, "Ha, Vladdy, you want your..." And coming to terms, both sides getting what they want, 14 mil, 500 mil, 14 years. Yes, relevancy. Relevancy is the word. Relevancy. They're not irrelevant anymore. The Jays have their star. What do they do now? Who knows? How far do they go? Who knows? Who cares? They have their star. This is all that matters. You can market him. He's there. He'll be doing McCain commercials.
He's not necessarily having a great season so far, but he'll come around.
He's got the bag now, though. Yeah. That's what you got to love. Now that the guy's got his money, you got to assume that he's only going to be better and better.
Can you imagine getting a commitment of $500 million from somebody?
I can't.
That is just amazing.
In today's world, nonetheless. Have you seen the global markets?
But what about taxes and stuff?
The tax. The tax.
I sure hope they didn't give him his money in Dow Jones. Look, as a Jays fan, I'm excited about it.
Well, you should be. And that's, I know my mom watches them religiously. My brother's got a season ticket. It's nice to see. Put that hot dog money to use.
That is important. Right? If you're going to sell that many hot dogs, you might as well play.
This is what they've been.
My good from the weekend was the little that we did see of Trent Frederick. Like when he was out there, I loved him.
Oh,
to the point where even if he doesn't play again, I might be like, I'd still sign that guy.
He's giving you a taste.
I liked his 7 minutes. So no Draisaitl, no McDavid. What are you really expecting against the Kings? I get it. I understand. I still would expect a group of players who are playing in the National Hockey League to, score a goal.
Schedule loss.
But I thought Reed Wilkins summed it up nicely. He was on the post game with Hernan and Tommy. And he said they were just not getting to the net enough. Like they just weren't trying hard enough to get to the front of the net. Except for Frederick, I think. Frederick, he was giving the Kings a reason to clear him out. How often have we said that about any Edmonton Oiler all season? Like Frederick was around the net. Now, the tough news is that 6 seconds into the game, he hits somebody. Then he's out for a little bit. Then he comes back. Then late in the third, so from pretty much the whole third, you don't see him much. I'm afraid that he obviously came back too early. and re-injured something, and I don't know when we'll see him again. But
especially that ankle sprain, man. Like that's like you can have different injuries, but that can linger. And I think Rishaug was talking about high ankle sprains with some of his guests on his pod. Might have more on that later today, but that's. And you and Hernan were going back and forth on the X, talking about other players that have at times been rushed back.
Yeah, well, I was just like, if Draisaitl's not hurt, Frederick probably doesn't play in that game because they weren't originally planning on having him play until tonight. Which, how much of a difference does 2 days make? I would think probably not that much, but I didn't want to, make it my bad that he only played that much. I wanted to point out that I thought he was really good when he was in there. So that'll be my good from the weekend. Our first look at Frederick. Unfortunately, it doesn't end
but you get a look
as well as you would hope. But I liked what I saw from him. And if you have and we'll talk about initial impressions from him with Ryan Rishaug as well. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999 is where you can get in. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. And we'll get to a few more of your message over there as we work our way through the show today as well. Your bad from the weekend. Where are you going with your bad?
Well, the Edmonton Oil Kings, bad weekend for them. They entered the weekend Friday night looking to wrap things up. They were up 3-1 against the Prince Albert Raiders. They fall Friday. They then fall yesterday at home here. And PA forcing a Game 7, which will go tomorrow night, Art Hauser Center up in Prince Albert. But that one going the distance. All the other opening round in the East Medicine Hat, Hitman swept the Blades, Tigers getting past the Broncos, but this one going the distance. But you're up 3-1, man. And the Raiders have a good goalie there, I think. I don't know if that was the story or the case. I didn't get to see the games. I'm sure Guy Flaming would have more on that. But it sucks when you're going into a weekend up 3-1. You come back Monday, and it's like, Game 7 tomorrow on the road, of all things. So bad weekend for the Oil Kings on the ice.
Couple of cracks at it to finish it off. Haven't got it yet, but the good news is because of the situation they were in, they get a third crack at it.
Absolutely.
So we'll see if they can. We'll see if they can finish it off there. If you were at any of the games, fire us a text. Let us know how it was. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Where is it here? Yeah, Zulu says, he brings something this team does not have. I actually felt bad for him when he started things up and then sort of seemed alone. He's like, oh, man, if we get fired up here, everybody will come rushing in. It's like,
follow me, guys.
Welcome to the Oilers, Frederick. My bad from the weekend was the Japanese Grand Prix. Sorry, Gager. Gager's not in today, so don't mind slandering F1 for a little bit. Really a nothing race. And I really liked the first couple of races this year, but that race really had nothing going on. And I stayed up. I stayed up to watch the start. And this sounds bad.
I went to bed at lights out. I watched the entire preamble, and I just couldn't do it anymore. And then but I'm glad, given what you said, I am glad I.
Well, so I stayed up for the beginning, watched about the first 28, 29 laps of the race, basically up until we got to the pits. And once everything came through the pits relatively smoothly, I was like, okay, nobody's catching anybody here. But this is a bad way to watch Formula One. And like I said, I watch all the races. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm still very much a fan. But the Japanese Grand Prix I thought was boring as hell. It's bad to watch the start and when everybody comes away clean, be disappointed.
Well, it was raining a bit before, was it not? So we were getting kind of excited, and then it kind of dried.
Let's get a little mix up here. Let's really throw a wrench into things. And then everybody came through there clean, and I was like, I stayed up till 11 o'clock for this start. There's going to be no caution flag. There's no red flag off the start. So that was tough.
Stroll outside the points as well. Hey, he had a pretty decent start.
Dead last though. Yeah. It was Max Verstappen getting the job done, but I'd have to put the Japanese Grand Prix in my bad for the good bad.
Yuki Tsunoda 12th. Out of the points as well.
In his home race. All right, and you're ugly from the weekend.
Well, I think on 3, 1, 2, 3, Duke basketball, right? I mean, it's got to be the ugly, and that you had a great weekend going. Well, a great Sunday actually, as it were. But Duke really kind of dropping the ball there. What a finish!
Unbelievable.
I mean, what there was probably an odds calculator with however many seconds left when they were up, and what I mean, Houston.
It was like a
if you live bet that
99.5% chance that Duke is going to win.
I mean,
now they didn't score a field goal. They had one field goal in like the last 10 minutes of the game, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I think it was a Cooper Flag 3 was the last one they had. But inbound the basketball, my God. I mean, Houston just all of a sudden became the best defensive inbounding team in the history of the bloody sport. And if it's not going to work the first time, get Zion James out of there. Put the ball in Cooper Flag's hand. I know you're trying to get the ball to Cooper Flag, but put the ball in your best player's hand and allow him to do the decision making. Like, come on, Shire. You're killing me.
Good on Houston. It's not done against like a 12th ranked Iowa Hawkeyes or anything such as that. But you get so far, you're so good, you're talked about so much, and then
Houston's been a good team for a long time.
Absolutely, but fundamentals kind of letting you down at the end. Like to get to this stage and then to lose in that type of fashion where you shouldn't be, right?
Yeah.
Given the talent, the ranking you have, the season you've put together on the court. And yes, nothing against Houston. A good two number ones in the final.
Yeah,
that's
Houston's
what this
been
tournament's
good for
been
a long
about. It's
time.
been about the tops, but at least it wasn't done against a Sisters of the Poor type of school or something like that.
But still, it was like, no, and they let a 14-point lead slip away. But in the end, in the last little bit, it was just the fundamentals that killed them. I mean, it was simple as that. Like,
that'll haunt you.
Proctor misses the free throw. That was a garbage foul call on Cooper Flag, though, when he went to get that rebound. There was no foul there. And then that takes Houston down the other end to shoot and was really kind of one of, if not the key moment in the basketball game. So I thought that was a garbage call, but it doesn't matter. I mean, hit your free throw, inbound the ball properly, for goodness sakes, and don't blow a 14-point lead. Now, so Saturday night, so I watched that game. And then I was like, I'm going to stay up for Formula One. And then the clean start of the Japanese Grand Prix, I was like, you got to be kidding me. And then Sunday morning, I get up, and this was posted by Opta Stats. I retweeted it yesterday. Duke is the only team to have an NCAA tournament game with a higher field goal percentage, more free throw attempts, more assists, more steals, and fewer turnovers than their opponent, and yet still lose since steals became an official stat in 1986. Of course, they had to put official stats in for steals because it was the only way to bump up Jordan's stats so he could win the Defensive Player of the Year. Anyway, prior to that, this is what really hurts. Prior to Saturday, teams that had a higher field goal percentage, more free throw attempts, more assists, more steals, and fewer turnovers were 335-0.
Oh, that's rough.
It had never happened before.
That's historic.
So now teams that had a higher field goal percentage, more free throw attempts, more assists, more steals, fewer turnovers are 335-1. And the one is Duke. What is this? Lehigh all over again? God.
Coach K must be rolling in his grave.
That one stings big time. So a tough out for my Dukies.
But again, at least against a top-ranked team in school.
Yeah, they didn't.
There was a bit of a.
They were like a 3.5-point favorite. It's not like it was a stunning upset because they were up by 14 with however many minutes were left. But that was two number one seeds. It was a phenomenal basketball game, and we'll talk about it a little bit more on the lock shop later on today. Red is in and is confirming the Japanese Grand Prix was an awful race. Hampton Steve says, my bad for the weekend, the way Canada v. Scotland game ended. Sometimes you just need to take a shot, chance an extra ends, then try a circus shot and to win it in 10.
Yeah.
Is that how it ended up going down?
Yeah, he could have forced it, but he
went for the dub.
Full due to Scotland, because that was some great curling in that semi. I mean, back and forth. And Scotland have a great team. And then Canada just lay the smackdown on China in the bronze medal game. Like that Jacobs rink loses one. And then they got to play early Sunday and just annihilate China. But full credit to Scotland. I'll say that. They brought their game all week long. They gave Canada the test there in the round robin, ultimately getting past them. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. As a fan, I like this. Don't be conservative, right? Like, give me the go for the circus. I get it, but it's great viewing, highly entertaining, great curling there. Scotland and Canada in that semi.
All right, 780-218-9999. Alexander Ovechkin is officially and undoubtedly the greatest scorer in the history of the National Hockey League.
Where does it stop, though?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? He's beaten him. Now where does he set the bar?
Let's say he plays 2 more years and he's sitting at like 975. Does he come back for a 3rd year to bury 25 and hit 1,000 goals?
Why not?
We'll get into all of this with Darren Dreger just after 7 o'clock for Pro-Am Sports. We're going to build an EST parlay around 7:25 for the Oilers and the Ducks tonight. The Fan Zone for fansfirst.ca. And that's a good for the Italian Center. All on the way in hour number 2. I apologize to everybody for doing about a 5-minute NBA right there. But I think Jokic should be the MVP.
Take it to the pod. Take it to the pod.
Yeah. If you're watching over on YouTube, hammer the thumbs up for us.
Names
Let's
for
change
Dusty's
150.
pod.
Yeah.
780-218-9999.
All right, so let's get to a sports update for the fine folks at Nisku Glass. Darren Dreger on the other side on Ovechkin's record-setting day. The Oilers losing to the Kings. They get the Ducks tonight to wrap up a road trip, and Trent Frederick apparently banged up in his Oilers debut. We'll get to all of that with Darren Dreger for Pro-Am right after this.
Alex Ovechkin scoring goal 895, passing Wayne Gretzky's all-time record yesterday as the Capitals would fall 4-1 to the Islanders. The Oilers, meanwhile, wrap up a 4-game trip tonight in Anaheim. Join Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas for the GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows here in EST. Coverage starting at 7:30. Elsewhere tonight, the Sharks are at home to the Flames. Lightning visit the Rangers. Big tilt from Winnipeg as the Jets host the Blues. And the Kings are at home to Seattle. Other action yesterday saw Vegas edge Vancouver 3-2. Wild defeat the Stars 3-2 in overtime. Habs topping the Preds 2-1. Montreal have won 5 in a row. Detroit defeating the Panthers, who are sliding right now, 2-1. And Ottawa blanking Columbus 4-0. The Senators find themselves just 2 points back of the Panthers now for 3rd in the Atlantic. Toronto Blue Jays reaching an agreement with Vlad Guerrero Jr. on a 14-year deal worth $500 million. Jays swept over the weekend by the Mets following yesterday's 2-1 loss. The 5-5 Jays will continue their road trip later today to open a 4-game set with the Red Sox. First pitch 4:45. Oil Kings dropping Game 6 at home to the Raiders 4-3 yesterday. Game 7 will go Tuesday tomorrow night in Prince Albert. Luka Doncic, 30 points, leading the Lakers over the West-leading Thunder 126-99 in NBA action. March Madness final goes tonight, 6:50 from the Alamo Dome as number 1 Houston takes on number 1 Florida. Over to curling, Scotland captured gold at the World Men's Championships with a 5-4 victory over Switzerland. Canada's Brad Jacobs-Rink would pummel China in the bronze medal game 11-2. And American Brian Harmon wins the Valero Texas Open by 3 strokes, finishing 9 under par. Opening round from Augusta and the Masters gets underway on Thursday. If you've been thinking about new windows and doors, replacing those grimy sealed units, getting that torn-up screen repaired, or making sure your patio doors and windows are working properly, Nisku Glass is here to help. We can also get that chipped and cracked windshield changed and spruced up with a new set of wipers and water-repellent coating. Call us today to get booked for a free estimate and assessment. And remember to mention EST to receive a 10% discount on all residential, commercial, and automotive glass purchases. We won't just meet your glass needs, we'll shatter them at Nisku Glass.
I was expecting to, try it. I was gonna say, it's okay, not the best, not the worst. But it is surprisingly good. But it is surprisingly good. But it is surprisingly good.
On the Nielson Show. It's a Monday morning. Hammer the thumbs up if you're watching over on YouTube. If you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or EvanstonSportsTalk.com, of course, you can text us anytime at 780-218-9999. That'll get you into the old PJ's inbox. Paris Jewelers. Check them out, parisjewelers.com. Nielson Show brought to you by South Fort Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot at South Fort Chev. 0% financing OAC up to 72 months right now. Save up to $8,000 on 2025 Silverado 1500s. And if you tell them that EST sent you, they'll give you an on-rim tire change for just $59.95 plus tax. All of our Nielsen Show songs brought to you by Totem Outdoor Outfitters. New gear, used gear, trade, and consign, a sport for every season. With hockey equipment and skates obviously ready to go year-round. A family store that takes pride in finding the right fit for you. Visit them at 7430 99th Street or online, www.totemoutfitters.ca. Hour number 2 looks a little bit like this, and by little bit, I mean exactly like this. We're going to have Darren Dreger coming up. We'll get an EST parlay and recap the poker tournament last night with our partners over at CoolBet. 7:30 today, the Fan Zone for fansfirst.ca. And 7:45 today, that's a good for the Italian Center. Rishaug will join us around 8:30 this morning. We have a hockey conversation loading here, though, with Darren Dreger, who's brought to you by Pro-Am Sports, your locally owned sports memorabilia and apparel specialist. Order deadline for the private signing with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is today at 5 o'clock. Submit your items like this year's season seat holder litho or select from there. So if you got that, if you're season seat holder, you got that Nuge litho, you can take it in, get it signed. Located at Edmonton at the corner of St. Albert Trail and 128th Ave or online at proamsports.ca. All right, let's bring in Dregs this morning. And, Dregs has been with us for quite a few years. I'm not sure if when you first started joining us, 7-8 years ago, Dregs, that we'd be having a conversation where it's like, so Alexander Ovechkin broke Wayne Gretzky's all-time goal-scoring record, but it happened yesterday, and it happened pretty much the exact way you would expect it to happen, right? Power play snipe from the spot. It just made sense.
Yeah, and I think it was NHL.com this morning or last night as part of their blanket coverage of the spectacle that it is, put out a stat, 393 of the 895 goals that Alex Ovechkin has scored have come from that left spot. Like 393. Somebody painstakingly went through the process of looking at every single goal scored by Alex Ovechkin. I mean, I guess what surprises me, well, there's a number of things that surprised me. To your point, Dusty, if we had this conversation even 3 years ago, I think I'm skeptical, and I'm probably at that point going, no, it's not going to happen. Yeah. I mean, look at the gap between Ovechkin and Gretz. It's not going to happen. He's going to run out of time. Father Time is going to take over from this guy, and even the injury this year could not knock him off course. And as I'm watching from my couch, it is one of those moments where were you type of thing, right? I didn't have anything dramatic planned or any of that. Literally just sitting and watching. And you see the puck go in and you're like, there it is.
That's it.
That's it. But, and then the celebration was a bit peculiar, but that's fine. I'm
the
good
slide?
with that.
I would have predicted the belly slide. Now, somebody said it's the same way he celebrated the cup in the fountains in Vegas, that type of thing.
Yeah, it was a fountain slide.
Yeah.
And I think that's what TJ Oshie referred to it afterwards as well. But then you have to look at everything. And it feels like Ovechkin and his family have had cameras on him all season long. And maybe that goes away a little bit now. But even as he walked into the restaurant last night in Washington, I mean, there are the cameras. And the first thing, he's got 2 beers in his hand. I mean, it's fitting. It's so, when you think about the throwback, there wouldn't be another player aside from maybe Sidney Crosby. But, as great a goal scorer as Sid has been at times over his NHL career, I mean, obviously Ovechkin is that much more skilled in terms of putting the puck in the net. But just everything about this man, from his launch into NHL greatness to where we are today, having this conversation about surpassing Wayne Gretzky as the greatest regular season goal scorer of all time. It's just been a remarkable journey, and not to derail it, but already, some around the league are wondering, okay, well, is this it? Is this it? He has one more year left on his contract, but there's some who are close to Ovi who think that legitimately he could drift off into Russia and play at least 1 year in Russia as early as next season. So I suppose we'll leave those questions for another day, probably end of the year.
Well, that's where I was going to go with you, Dreger, too, and being so close and having such an ear and an eye around the league. Where do you think this ultimately ends up? Not only, the goal number right now that he's at 895, how high can he take that thing anymore? But the player himself, he's crushing spicy Cheetos and Subway sandwiches. Like, you can't really bet against him in terms of his physical ability at this stage, right?
No, and you'd think you'd be able to say, yeah, you can, because of what his birth certificate tells us. But he's a very economical player, as we can see. It's not like he's drifting up and down the ice at full speed anymore. He's not doing that. He knows where he needs to be on the power play, and that's where he is. Could he play another season or two? I mean, he'll play as long as he wants to play. And I'm happy for the Washington Capitals. This was a real fun ride, and one of the many storylines that we'll look back on 24-25 with. The Four Nations face-off, certainly. Let's see what happens with the Stanley Cup playoffs. But obviously, Ovechkin, winning the regular season scoring title now. Just because of how great it's been and how many eyeballs it's brought to the sport. I think, though, for the Capitals as a team right now, the best thing that could have happened was he got it done. It happened this weekend. It's over. Yes, every goal that Ovechkin scores now is going to matter. It just creates a greater gap for whomever the next one might be, if ever. But they need to focus on finishing out the regular season and focus on being the top contender that they should be in the Stanley Cup playoffs. So I'm sure Ovechkin is tired of talking about it. He celebrated in the moment, had a great time with his family. Now he's focused on trying to win a Stanley Cup.
One more on Ovi, and then I want to talk about like the possibility of anybody else tracking him down. You mentioned that whatever the number was, and how did they not cover him more? That's so I know. Why do you not take that away from the Caps over the last 20 years? It's remarkable that he's been able to do that many times, and people still just. And I know he doesn't need a ton of time. Like he gets the shot off pretty quick, right? But still, it's nuts that weapon has just been there for that long.
I mean, it just speaks to his greatness, right? Because it's not like the goaltenders historically haven't done their video prep and their work on Ovechkin. They know where that shot most times is coming from. But even the record-setting goal, right? I mean, that's what great goal scorers have, is that innate ability to find a hole somewhere. I mean, that puck went through bodies. It was... I think Spencer Carberry talked about postgame. Even though they had a real good angle on it, they couldn't see because of all the bodies and everything that was going on that it actually found the net. And sure enough, it did. But I think that's one thing that surprises me the most. And was it going into the weekend where I think I read, again, maybe NHL.com, they've done a fantastic job of covering this all year long. But he has scored on 182 NHL goaltenders, and now I think it's 183 because
he hadn't scored on Sorokin.
He hadn't scored on him. So, I mean, there's just so many different layers about this that make it incredible, absolutely incredible. The fact too that few of us predicted that this was even possible. Right? Let alone that, he's going to do it. It's going to take more time. When he got injured, I think we were all already looking to next year and this drifting into another season, and that just wasn't going to happen. And then it also feels like it was meant to be that Tom Wilson should factor in on the stat sheet with Ovechkin. He's just a real good dude to me. Those two are kind of old school hockey players, right? They just haven't turned the page in terms of one era to the other yet. So it was nice that Tom Wilson factored into the record setter.
Darren Dreger with us on the show this morning. Dregs, you mentioned, this one might never be touched. We did the math on it last week. Draisaitl and Matthews are both at 400. They would need 10 more 50-goal seasons to take a run at Ovechkin right now, which, I mean, it sounds crazy, but we didn't think Ovi would get the
science, better taking care of yourself. I mean, things change
you mix
in the game.
A couple 60s in there, but it does seem, those would be the two guys who might be able to put some sort of run together, right? I don't see anybody else close.
No, and look, I mean, you can't play the game at the level that Draisaitl, McDavid, pretty much most players in the NHL. You can't play at that level unless you absolutely love the sport, right? And you see everything that they go through. Both those guys are hurt right now. I mean, in part, it's not load management. They're legit dinged up here. But, if it were the playoffs, obviously they'd be playing. So I guess my point is, you see, Ovechkin and just loving, enjoying every second of the game, from the chest bumps prior to the game, all the shenanigans that goes on before the Washington Capitals, get out onto the ice. Well, I think the same applies to McDavid and Rishaug. Maybe they're not as demonstrative as Ovechkin has been over the years, but I wonder a little bit, not that these guys don't play for the money. They don't. But just think about everything that has to be invested physically and mentally to do what we're suggesting they're going to have to do. 10, 50 goal seasons, 10 more, yeah. 10 more. I don't know. As much as Leon loves the game, I can just see him, especially if the Oilers win a Stanley Cup in the future, I can see him just going, all right, I'm at the end of this next contract. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. I'm going to play golf and have some fun.
Got maybe a couple.
I'm okay.
Yeah. It's absolutely remarkable stuff. Okay, so the Edmonton Oilers, they played the Kings, got shut out. No Draisaitl in that game for them. We did get our first look at Trent Frederic. And he looked good, but he only played 7 minutes. He made a hit 6 seconds into the game, and then was out for a little bit. He looked at exactly what they need in the 7 minutes that he played, but kind of concerning that he couldn't get through that first game back.
Yeah, real concerning for me. And I watched that game, and, it was, at times it was painful to watch, and not because of how he was playing. You could just clearly see the man was laboring. And, then at that point, I'm sure the training staff, the coaching staff of the Oilers said, okay, enough, let's not poke the bear here, because he's clearly not ready, or tweaked, aggravated, call it whatever you will. So, they do have some time here. Let's hope that they caught it in time and it's not a full-on aggravation, because then that gets more problematic. And especially when it comes to high ankle sprains, you're looking at a longer-term heal. But you're bang on, Dusty. I watched a lot of Bruins games, and there weren't many nights when Trent Frederic was out there where he wasn't doing something that, again, caught your eye. I wouldn't call him your prototypical fighter. He's not your prototypical tough guy. What he is a responsible teammate. So, and also has a real keen feel for what's going on in the game. And he knows that that's in his wheelhouse, right? He can set the tone with a hit, hard on the forecheck, if necessary, defending himself, or a teammate more than capable to do that. But when this guy is healthy, he can put the puck in the net too. So that's an interesting toolbox. And I hope for Frederic's sake, I mean, he's got a contract that needs to get looked at some point here. But for Frederic's sake, I hope that physically he's able to play the game that he can play, because the Oiler fans are going to learn to like a lot about what he's capable of doing.
Dregs, before I let you go, just on that front with, the Oilers have been banged up here. No McDavid, no Ekholm, no Draisaitl now. Klingberg.
Yeah.
The bunch of Frederic, obviously, they're still waiting for a Skinner. I mean, there's a bunch of names. At this point, getting healthy for the playoffs has to be a bigger priority than tracking down the Kings for second, right? They're 4 points back. I think you sort of just concede third. You're not going any lower. Get the guys some rest. Get him healthy. That has to be the plan, right?
Yeah, that has to be the plan. And it was late last week when I think I projected that McDavid was probably going to be able to come back with a week remaining in the regular season. So whatever that timeline is now, Ekholm sounds like he's a bit closer. Draisaitl, I think that he remains day to day. Then you have some other pieces. Vander Kane, is he going to be available for game one? All of that. But I'm with you. There's only so much jockeying you can do. There's only so much you can do. And if you're not in the realm of winning the division, then does it really matter? I mean, sure, I guess it does from a coaching standpoint and all that. But look what the Florida Panthers did yesterday. And I suspect that that's what they're going to do moving forward. I mean, there's a team that's banged up, and they're sitting Sam Bennett, and they're sitting some other guys. And it's clearly not about winning the Atlantic Division. They're going, no, we know what it takes. We know what the investment is to win the Stanley Cup. And if we're not as healthy as we can be game one of the postseason, then we're putting ourselves at a disadvantage. So let's try and get as healthy as we can. And I think that has to be the mindset for a lot of the top teams at this point.
Dregs, when's the next episode drop?
Just looking on timeline. It'll be tomorrow, and I suspect Ray's an early riser. He likes getting at it early in the morning. So we normally record around 6:30 a.m. Pacific. So he's up and out. So
he's an early boy then, yeah.
Yeah. Some point late morning or around lunchtime on Tuesday.
Good stuff, man. We'll catch up with you next Monday.
All right, guys. Have a great week.
There you go. That's Darren Dreger, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports, where the deadline for the Nuge signing is today at 5 o'clock. So you can submit your own items or select from theirs. Just hop online, proamsports.ca for all the details, or swing on by, see the Cooks and Boys at the corner of St. Albert Trail and 120.
On his last point, too, Panthers could be a wild card team.
No, man.
The way the Sens are playing right now, and if they continue to say, hey, let's rest and be out. As long as you're in the dance, you're in the dance. If that's their way of thinking, they could be wild card 1.
Well, they're only 2 points up on Ottawa.
Yeah.
And Ottawa's I saw Biz Nasty yesterday had a tinfoil hat on and was saying that the Panthers are trying to tank down to wild card 1 so they can play the Leafs in the first round. And then Ottawa can take on Tampa, which would be interesting. But they had 49 million not dressed yesterday. Jesper Jarvi was actually their second line right winger yesterday.
You love to see it.
And I'll throw this out there. Had 5 shots and 5 hits.
And they want to get him his ring.
That was
right?
nice.
Like this is,
God, I want him to get his ring. Because, it's all about rings. At that point, he would be better than McDavid and Draisaitl because they wouldn't have a ring. That type of ring culture. That's crazy. All right. Anyway, if you want to chime in on the Oilers conversation there, we'll get into it on the Fan Zone at fansfirst.ca. They're not catching the Kings. They're starting the playoffs on the road against Los Angeles. I think, are you okay with that? Are you okay to concede that if you get health in return? We'll get into that with the Fan Zone coming up. Right now, portions of this hour brought to you by the Capital Care Foundation. Donate today at capitalcarefoundation.net. They're raising funds to support the work and care provided at Capital Care centers across the community, ensuring that people needing long-term care have quality equipment, furnishings, and programs to live with dignity while in the care at the Capital Care centers. If you'd like to donate today, www.capitalcarefoundation.net. That's www.capitalcarefoundation.net. And help them get the best quality of living that we can by donating today at capitalcarefoundation.net. Fan Zone coming up. That's good. Still coming down the pipe as well. We'll build a little EST parlay here as well. But yeah, if McDavid, so Draisaitl and Matthews basically had 400 goals. 10 50-goal seasons.
Draisaitl's got his office
to track
too,
down
though.
Ovi.
Much like Ovi. So that could kind of,
if you have McDavid feeding you one-timers,
like that's
for the next
luxury
decade,
that a lot of guys don't have, right?
I feel like highly unlikely. But you made an interesting point. Like, technology's only going to improve. Treatments are only going to improve. Like, I would be very stunned if they tracked it down.
But people were talking about Ovi and Gretzky's days too, and how technology's changed. The composition of a stick, for example, all those things. Strength of gold, like things are different. Maybe things get a little tougher in some respects, but you'd like to think that sports and science kind of catches up well, and I mean they're getting taken care of as best as they can as each day passes, right? Like that advances day in, day out. So even if a guy may have injury problems, he's still getting arguably better care than he would have in the past. So those things factor in, but it takes a lot. It'd have to be something special. It'd have to be something, and you. Well,
I think you'd have to mix in like a 60 or 65, or
you need a little luck.
And you got to stay healthy.
There's a lot of things outside of your control, the player's control, that obviously factor in.
I don't think either Draisaitl or Matthews tracked this thing down, so we'll have to wait and see who the next prolific goal scorer is, who comes along.
Will Smith.
If you're watching on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. We're 37 away from changing 200 before 7:30 today, which would be great. We love it. Game day, Oilers and Ducks tonight.
Blues Jets as well.
Oh, that's a big one. The Jets of Blues try to keep on rolling.
Yeah.
I will be setting that up on the lock shop with Huss for sure. Jason in Leduc says, guys, I needed John Wick this morning. I'm lifting my Jays boycott when I learned that they signed Vladdy.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
Everybody's back now. Hey?
I'm not. No, like, this was obvious. They could have hired YouTube Trev and he could have signed Vladdy. The fact that it took this long to get, nothing against you, Trev, but you have no baseball management experience, right? I mean, it could have said
there's a joke here,
but
with Atkins and anyway.
But anyway, until those guys are fired, I'm not back.
Okay.
Like, I'm sorry. Schneider, gone. See you later. Atkins, Shapiro, gone. Until those guys are gone, yeah, they kept Vladdy. They had to keep Vladdy. You had no choice.
Well,
the fact that it took so long to get it done still pisses me off. I'm not back yet. I'm not back. I'm sorry. Jason, I'm happy you are back. I wish I could be in your spot and also return.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
But yeah, I'm thinking I'm not.
The 500 million pound of flesh didn't do it for you, eh?
No, this should have been done 2 months ago.
No.
Like,
got us talking.
I am sorry. I'm spicy on a Monday, aren't I?
Well, I'm
honest. You know what it is? I'm wearing sweatpants, boys.
Yeah.
That's why I'm just the way I am. I'm so comfortable in my own skin now. I'm wearing sweatpants.
Do a spin here if you can. I know. Oh, boy.
They're bench. They're nice. They're comfortable.
Ooh.
This is the first time I've seen you in sweats.
Yeah.
I noticed them this morning.
Well, you guys are wearing all those anti-ball crushing pants.
ABCs.
That look pretty comfortable.
Those are kind of the same thing, I think.
I've decided to wear, these are my fancy sweats.
Those can't be crushing.
And I'm only wearing them. I got nice Nikes on.
Oh.
So it classes it up a little bit.
Very comfy fit today.
I'm very comfy today.
I like it.
And that's why I'm spitting takes on the Jokic MVP thing.
Feeling good.
That hurt a
Look good,
bit.
feel good, do good. Yeah, well, that hammy, eh? Yeah. Back in the pool. Clip that.
So anyway, I don't know. I feel like I'm doing it. You know what I need to do, maybe, boys?
What is going?
I need to buy more nice sweats.
Sure.
Like, this is really the only pair of sweats I'd comfortably wear out of the house.
Different colors based on mood.
Yeah.
You could kind of.
Yeah, these are pretty nice. So I'm just feeling chill. Like, I'm going to be doing sweet slam dunks when we play 21 today with Trev because I'm in my Nikes and my sweats. Yeah. Tammy's probably like, why do you wear your sweats to work today? But I love these sweats. These
pockets
are my go-tos.
too. Yeah, they got pockets, and everything.
Oh yeah, pockets.
That's beautiful.
Like nice pockets. But look, my wallet and keys are in the pockets of my sweats right now.
Wow,
that's how comfortable these are.
Game changer.
Yeah. Now I don't have a meeting today. I got a meeting on Wednesday. I got another meeting on Friday. So I don't think I'm comfortable enough to wear sweats to the meeting.
Hell of a play though.
But
to roll in.
Because you don't care about this. Actually, I care about it very much.
You would be showcasing your comfort.
My comfort level.
Exactly. I don't think that's...
You sit down for a meeting with people and be like, as you can see, my comfort level with you is terrific because I'm wearing sweatpants.
Much like that jacket you possess with the hood. This is fine.
I can pull that off.
It's a dark color. There's no it's not like you got any paws on the butt or anything like that,
Nothing.
or it's like camo or anything like that.
Nice pair of sweats.
Exactly. You could pull these off in a business casual setting.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Like I think we talk about ending stigma so much in the show. I think the stigma of sweats you're lazy. Oh yeah, you go to the grocery store wearing sweat. No, it's as long as they're nice. There are levels to the sweat game.
Yeah,
correct. I think that's fair.
Like,
and the ones you're sporting right now,
these are nice enough.
I think those could pass for a business lunch.
I've got a bunch of sweats.
You're not going to a wedding in them, but
I've got a bunch of sweats that I would never wear in public.
Sure, exactly.
But these ones I would. I feel like one of those fancy Lululemon girls. Or Lululemon boys, for that matter, who go out in their fancy Lulu sweats. These aren't Lulu sweats, but if they can do that, why can't I wear these?
Who's to say?
Amishman19 says, over or under when Dusty loses his wallet or keys out of his sweats?
It's a dicey game, man.
It's a deep pocket.
Okay, well, that's good. Perfect.
It's a deep pocket.
Well, then you can go to meetings and stuff.
Well, maybe I will. Maybe I will do a meeting in these sweats. Maybe I'll have one of the biggest meetings we've ever had in sweats.
Bids for kids tomorrow. Full sweatsuit.
No, but I am going to wear a hat to that event because I can't do anything with this hair right now.
Again, the slick combed back.
Yeah, no, All right, let's build an EST parlay. Oilers and Ducks tonight. What do we do here? The Oilers are a minus 146 money line favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I don't necessarily know I'm comfortable enough putting that into the parlay.
They're looking to even the season series, I do believe, in their final meeting.
Not ideal against the Ducks to say something like that.
No.
All right, so who's going to get some points tonight here?
RV again? Hey, RV?
Ooh, Ryan Strome's on the Ducks. I'll play this song when we come back. Arvidsson again? This is tough putting together a point parlay when you're expecting them to maybe score 2 goals. Jocelyn says in the chat, my son just bought a pair of nice sweats for $125. What?
Whoa.
See, you should be able to wear those sweats to a meeting.
Absolutely. Keep the price tag on.
That's more than I pay for jeans, for goodness sakes. All right, let's go Bouchard point. Arvidsson point. Nuge point.
Nuge point.
It's minus 171, minus 166, and plus 101. All right, so Nuge, Bouchard, and Arvidsson. Jakey boy, if you're watching from Coolbet, let's put that bad boy together. If not, I'll text it over to you right away. And then we'll dive into this national championship game tonight before Florida and team that I will refuse to mention. Damn Houston.
Yeah, Norman of Combines.
Here's a play I like tonight in college basketball, too. LJ Cryer, over 2.5 threes, plus 106. Guy shoots 8 3-pointers a game. LJ Cryer, I know you never heard of him. I, too, have not heard of him until the last week or so. And I'll never forget his name now. After that Duke game. LJ Cryer, over 2.5 threes, plus 106. That could be a number you want to get on as well. All right, so we got a couple of plays for you with our guys over at Coolbet. And a shout out to, I guess, Cliffy Harris, who ended up winning the poker tournament last night. All this guy does is play poker and curl. Unbelievable. All right, on the way, the Fan Zone for fansfirst.ca. Are you good with third? Is that it? That's all? You're good with third?
It's not a question.
Are you still okay with the Oilers finishing third and trying to get healthy? And if they do get healthy, do you think they can go on a run? Like, what's your level of confidence in this team making conference final? Let us know in the Fan Zone. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. As Trev says, we're just 20 likes away from changing 200 around 7:30 here this morning. Now it's 16, so hammer the thumbs up over on YouTube. Rishaug in about an hour, but the question right now for the Fan Zone, do you have confidence in this team at least coming out of the division? They're going to start it in third. On the road, cannot win a division to save their lives for almost 40 years now. But they're used to being in this spot. You're going to have to play against a Kings team who's really good at home. All of that coming up at the Fan Zone, but let's get to a sports update right now with LTE.
Alex Ovechkin scoring goal 895, passing Wayne Gretzky's all-time record yesterday in the Capitals' 4-1 loss to the Islanders. The Oilers, meanwhile, wrap up a 4-game road trip tonight in Anaheim. Tom Gazzola, Hernan Salas have your GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows right here on EST. Coverage starts at 7:30. Other action tonight, we'll see the Jets host the Blues, Seattle visit the Kings, Rangers at home to the Lightning, and Flames on the road in San Jose. Other action from yesterday, Sens blanking Columbus 4-0. Ottawa now 2 points back of Florida for third in the Atlantic as Detroit would defeat the Panthers 2-1. Habs top the Preds 2-1. Montreal have won 5 in a row. Wild over the Stars 3-2 in overtime in Vegas, edging Vancouver 3-2. The Jays reached an agreement with Vladdy. They signed Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to a 14-year deal worth $500 million. Jays swept over the weekend by the Mets following yesterday's 2-1 loss. The 5-5 Jays road trip will continue later today against the Red Sox. That will open a 4-game set. First pitch 4:45. Back over to hockey where the Edmonton Oil Kings couldn't get things done over the weekend as they would drop games 5 and 6. 6 yesterday, 4-3 to the Raiders on home ice. Game 7 will go tomorrow night back in Prince Albert. Luka Doncic had 30 points as the Lakers topped the West-leading Thunder 126-99 in NBA action. Also, the Raptors over the Nets 120-109. March Madness final tonight, 6:50 from the Alamo Dome. A pair of number ones as Houston go up against Florida. Scotland capturing gold at the World Men's Curling Championships from Moose Jaw with a 5-4 victory over Switzerland yesterday. Canada's Brad Jacobs would pummel China in the bronze medal game 11-2. An American Brian Harmon wins the Valero Texas Open by 3 strokes at 9 under par as opening round from Augusta and the Masters will get set to get underway on Thursday. Sports Update brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, where he wishes Murray McCourt best of luck on his Masters trip.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as newborn 8-pound, 6-ounce Mitch Lewicki. You can picture grown-up Mitch or teenage Mitch or bearded Mitch or whoever you want.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Hey, Pete. Hey, Poho. Tell them what you did. It was a big blockbuster made cause Ebbs was lackluster, so in the end he just had to go. Yeah, that sounds about right. They sent him to New York and they landed Ryan Strome. Now he's got a song on the show. Right. He does all kinds of drills that give you all kinds of thrills, but the thrill he's never known is a thrill like he's dreaming. All the fans are screaming, it's another goal for Ryan Strome. Ryan Strome. Wanna see him dangle Ryan Suter. Strome. Wanna see him be 97 shooter. Yeah. Wanna see that smiling face. It's another goal for Ryan Strome. That's a very, very good thing.
We know this sexy old lady named Renee Baby who likes to wear men's jeans. She's got a Ryan Strome road jersey and it's bursting right at the seams.
Now this song's designed to blow your mind, but your minds won't really be blown like the blow you'll be feeling at Rogers Place screaming, it's another goal for Ryan Strome. Ryan Strome. Wanna see him dangle Ryan Suter. Strome. Wanna see him be 97 shooter. Strome. Wanna see that smiling face. It's another goal for Ryan Strome.
Ryan Strome song as the Oilers get set to face the Ducks. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Stove texts in this morning to the Paris Jewelers inbox. All of our original songs, by the way, brought to you by Totem Outdoor Outfitters. Check them out, 7430 99th Street, or online at www.totemoutfitters.ca. Stove texts in and says, sweatpants are legitimate pants, Dusty. If leggings are going out pants, so are sweats.
Yeah.
Feel no shame. It's a good point. It's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, if you're wearing leggings, why even wear pants at all, really?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, what are we doing?
No, you don't have to have the imagination there.
With the leggings? I mean, the leggings, the sweats, it's yin-yang. That's basically what that is. Right?
Yeah.
All right, you can keep the text rolling in. Vladdy's got a deal. He's a $500 million man. And Alexander Ovechkin, the greatest goal scorer in the history of the game, hitting 895 yesterday. We'll get into that conversation a little bit more with That's a Good coming up for the Italian Center around 7:45 today. Kind of easy trivia. 3 questions too many. GCL Diesel, Orange and Blue Breakfast. Ryan Rishaug from the Got Your Back podcast, Marmot Basin Snow Report, and the Rap for William Huff, all still to come in hour number 3 on the show as well. If you are watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. We are now officially changing 200. This smells like a 300 like day, so that's good news.
Wait, Vladdy's 500. We got to do it. Do it for Vladdy.
We got to do Vladdy 500 here. Come on. Jasmine saying it's Maddie, Tommy, Murray, and Jasmine on the hangout today.
That's a great Monday morning hangout.
She says she will be the judge of my fit check.
Yes. And we get one last discussion with Murray before he heads to the...
Murray heads off. A dream trip. A tradition unlike any other. Murray on a Monday.
He had tears in his eyes telling me about winning that. It's a great story.
I would too if I got to go to the Masters, man.
Hell of a trip and a hell of a
lucky duck
story to go along with it.
Man is a lucky duck. All right, let's get into the fan zone for fansfirst.ca. By fans, for fans, no fees. Fansfirst.ca. Oilers return home. Who do they play this week at home? St. Louis Blues.
The Blues, baby. I don't know if you want the Blues to continue. They play the Jets tonight. I mean, not that it matters anymore. We're saying this Oilers season is kind of, you are where you are, but you want them rolling in there on that heater, or do you want that heater to be broke and then looking them back in the win column, right, against the Oilers? So that'll be good, but that's, yes, the next chance to get your fans first seats, courtesy the Fan Zone.
Yeah, there you
Wednesday.
go.
8 o'clock.
All right, it's Fans First. Check it out, www.fansfirst.ca. The question is, the Edmonton Oilers, they're going to finish third. That's how it's going to work. Is the key here just doesn't matter. Don't rush guys back anymore. Let Frederick get healed up. Let Draisaitl, let McDavid get healed up. Let Ekholm, get Skinner. Like they're missing a ton of key pieces right now. So if healthy, let's say they settle in third. They're opening up the playoffs. Vegas did get the win last night. A little bit more of a cushion on the Kings. But
Kings have a game in hand, and they are 5 back.
You're going to have to go through, well, one of the Kings are Golden Knights, and then see what happens with the St. Louis Blues, because the Blues are going to be in your sort of divisional bracket here, I would think, as well. I still sit here today And you can call me a homer if you wish. Others will say I'm the exact opposite of it. But I still think if McDavid and Draisaitl are healthy come playoff time, and I'm assuming Ekholm will be healthy come playoff time, if those guys are good to go, I still think the Oilers can get through both the Kings and the Golden Knights.
Oh, yeah.
I still think there could be a conference final run here. Am I insane? Am I insane in the brain? 780-218-9999 or hit us up from the nasty chat. I don't care if they play another regular season game.
No, but yeah, Hampton Steve echoes your point, and that's where you're saying this point could leave you being seen as a homer or the complete opposite. Because Hampton Steve says at this point they are what they are. Since there's absolutely no consistency with this team this season, I could see them winning the cup just as easily, he says, as I could see them losing to the Kings in the opening round.
I wouldn't be. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say I'd be shocked if they lost to the Kings. Because the Kings are a better team than the other Kings teams, I think. I think Kemper is an upgrade on what they've had between the pipes the last few years.
They're healthy.
Yeah, I mean, the Kings aren't going to be easy. But if McDavid and Draisaitl are healthy, I still give those two guys the puncher's chance in a series against the Kings, and I would say the same against the Golden Knights.
We have, though, seen this team with those two guys healthy this season hit a few skids as well. And now I know the playoffs is different, but...
Yeah. But I'm not sitting here saying it's an automatic.
No.
I'm saying just I have the faith that I think they could still get to a conference final. Many of you just like, first round exit. Don't worry about it. I don't think that's the case. I mean, we've not seen this team healthy for quite some time. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Toonces the driving cat says, you're on glue, Dusty. I'm not on glue. I have never tried being on glue. And to be honest with you, I haven't used glue in over a decade, probably.
Yeah, stick or gel? That's the first question should be. Like, glue stick or are you talking like the Elmer's white?
I would, the gel. Like
I went to school with a kid who ate glue. Hey,
of course
he just loved it.
I think we all went to school.
There was always one glue eater. Hey, and he wasn't shy about it. It was like you with sweats. Like he was quite open. Like he didn't hide it. Look at me. He'd take
I'm eating glue.
He'd take the Elmer's, that little hard, cap that kind of gets on. Yeah, he loved that stuff.
Okay, so the little hard piece.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I ever tried to eat that. What does he do now? Do you remember what the glue eater does now?
Lost touch with him. I actually know kind of who he is. I'll tell you after the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't turn out to be much.
I
mean,
usually
he's not working at NASA.
I wonder if a teacher, when they see a kid eating glue, if they're like, I could probably spend less time with that.
Your wife probably knows a few.
He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, she knows.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe. Tam, do you know a lot of glue eaters?
Since the driving cat followed it up with, though, after the glue comment, remember we have the 33rd best goalie in the NHL.
Yeah, but how good's Pickard? Hey, he's been pretty good lately.
I see what you did there. He goes on to say,
I don't think I'm crazy. I don't think I'm crazy for potentially thinking the Oilers could make a conference final. I'm not saying they're going to win the cup. I'm not saying they're going to get out of the West because I don't think they will. To be honest with you, I'll be pretty damn surprised if they go back to the Stanley Cup final. But I think with a healthy lineup, this team is capable of beating the Kings and the Golden Knights. I'm not going to say it's an automatic. I'm not going to die on this hill, but I don't think you can write them off like many people are doing.
They could also streak their way to some.
Put me on the payroll, right? Oilers. Hey,
sure.
All right, 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999.
Dex says not an ounce of glue in the temple.
No nicotine and no glue
by the ounce
in the temple.
Per ounce.
You think a guy who's going to wear sweatpants as a 43-year-old man ate glue as a child? I don't think so.
An ounce of glue.
Trav, am I crazy to think that this team could still construct some sort of conference finals run? You are the in-house Oilers fan here on the Nielson Show, so I respect your opinion very much. What do you think?
Thank you. I mean, upsets happen all the time, right? You never know in the playoffs, and that's kind of the great thing about playoffs is you have upsets all the time. March Madness, we're talking about that. You see it every year. This team upsets this team, and you're like, holy crap, no one saw that coming. So yes, the Kings are a really good team, but I mean, they don't have Connor. They don't have Leon. Those are two of the best playoff performers, not just in this era, but of all time. As far as stats goes, they continue to just dominate any team they go up against in the playoffs. And until the Kings beat them. I don't see it. That's the kryptonite. It really is. I remember hearing stories of the Jets back in the 80s and 90s. They were a hell of a team, but there was one thing that stopped them. It was the Oilers, and the difference was goaltending, right? That was kind of the same thing back then. The Oilers 3 years ago went to the conference final, got swept by the Avs, but I think this Oilers team is better than that Oilers team. And they had to go up against the Calgary Flames, which they were just insane that year. So I think that they can make the conference finals. I really do. It's just it's tough. This team, when they're going good, I'm like, look at this team. They're going to go to the Stanley Cup final again. And then, I know. And then when the goings are bad, it's just like, oh gosh, first round exit. So
if they don't make it back to the conference final, and like I said, it would be the season would be a failure.
I'm done.
If they don't make it back to the conference final, I think the season has to be viewed as a failure.
You should have a high bar.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you should. You almost won the Stanley Cup last year.
They came into the
season.
season.
If you can't make it back to the conference final, and that might not even be like, for some people it might be like, if they don't make it back to the cup final, the season's a failure. But I think with the way the season is gone, if they can't make it to the conference final, the season is a failure.
At least you have to at least get to the conference final.
The Kings and Golden Knights are good hockey teams, but this is not going through Dallas and Winnipeg. And where Colorado's at right now. Like the Kings and the Golden Knights are beatable. And if McDavid and Draisaitl are healthy and, dare I say, somewhat rested going into the playoffs.
Are you suggesting load management is afoot?
That would never happen in the National Hockey League.
No.
Ever.
Because if the playoffs were today, they'd be playing.
Yeah.
But they're not, so they're not.
Yeah, so but we can't call it load management.
Okay, sorry.
Because load management is something we critique the NBA on.
Sin.
We can never suggest that a hockey player is healthy enough to play but isn't playing.
And God forbid you would rest yourself for a more important time.
No. You can't do that in hockey.
Nonsense.
These are hockey players.
You got to play when it doesn't matter.
They have to play all the time. Especially
that Sharks game is going to be...
Especially if the cap situation is forcing you to get back earlier than you want to get back to, and you can barely play and you got hurt again. 780-218-9999. Jilly G says, I'm worried, but I don't think this team getting hot and doing the damn thing is out of the question.
No, it's not. And I think we should all have high bars for them. But I don't think you can also be with this team and the roster and the way it is, and with a few guys banged up, be surprised at the fact that they could just putter out in the opening round, too. They could get to the final. They could get this. But I think you should still have that expectation. That should be there, too. Conference final, cup final, whatever.
It's not like without McDavid and Draisaitl, the Oilers got ran out of the barn on Saturday.
Well, somebody said, Smitty the Welder said the Kings barely beat a banged-up Oilers team.
When you watch that game, you watch Saturday's game and go, imagine if the Oilers had McDavid, Draisaitl, and Ekholm playing. I'm not even talking Kane or like a Frederick that could play 14 minutes as opposed to 7. Like, imagine if they had those guys. You're thinking they can't beat the Los Angeles Kings? Come on. I mean, and you know what's crazy is they might go into that series viewed by some as a road dog.
Oh, you didn't know? You better call somebody! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, tonight, D-Generation X proudly brings to you its 6-time WWE Tag Team Champions of the World! The Road Dogg, Jesse James, the Badass Billy Gunn, the New Age Outlaws!
I love when he does that.
And you know what? I think Trev was the first one to bring up like the word underdog.
Yes.
But what do we say about this Oilers team sometimes?
No, they're better when their backs are against the wall. They love that bulletin board material, baby.
Right? Do they not?
Love going out on the road. You go out on the road. Now, I know the Oil Kings are going to 7, and they'll be on the road tomorrow night in PA. But you go on the road, you split that at the least, and then you come home to where things are going to be absolutely electric and where the Kings have a sub-500 record on the road. I don't think they should be... You're telling me that you're scared of going down to LA and playing there? Did you see the atmosphere on Saturday? I know it was an afternoon game. I know it's not the playoffs yet.
Yeah.
But they really...
You do not need to be intimidated by the crowd in LA.
They're not hanging over the glass and all this stuff. I mean, it's pretty fair weathered. I'm sure you could probably get a reasonable ticket for game one if and when they do meet. So, yeah, I don't think you have anything to fear in that regard. It's just... But I think the one... And here's where it is, boys, goaltending. And we mentioned Kemper. I think the Kings have been trying to build a roster to beat this team. They've been trying to climb this wall. They've been trying to do it. They've been getting beat down. Okay, this happened, and we have to answer this way. Then we have to construct this. Then we have to be a suffocating defensive team. They finally got a guy in goal now.
The Kings.
Right.
Yeah, Kemper looks good.
and you look across the bow,
well,
maybe that
I'm
is the
trying to
difference.
imagine a world where goaltending doesn't factor into playoff success. So let's just not worry about that right now. Why'd you have to bring that up? With that being said, Calvin Pickard so far, Knobloch's thoughts.
I was expecting to, try it. I was going to say, it's okay, not the best, not the worst. But it is surprisingly good.
He has been. Pickard has been surprisingly good so far for the Oilers.
And Big Uke on LA's home record, he says, doesn't scare me. You don't have to win 4 in LA. You only need 1.
Got to get 1 if you can clean them at home. So I still think this team can make a conference finals run.
Sure.
My bold prediction from the summer of winning the Stanley Cup might be hanging in the balance, but hey, call me whatever. I'm a homer then. I'm a homer.
But then also you could see them getting out in this we'd say you have no faith.
Yeah, well, I guess the whole point of the fan zone today is I wouldn't be shocked if they did lose to the Kings, but I think fans who are like they're 100% going to lose to the Kings and there's no possibility of running here, I think you're taking it too far. I still think
in this
is a conference final capable club. Is that too much? Is that too much to say for your beloved Mighty Oil?
You unfaithful homer.
Hammer the thumbs up if you love unfaithful homers. Hey, what are we at? 223. Let's change 300 here. If you're watching over on YouTube right now, smash the thumbs up for your boys. All right, let's get into that's a good. For the Italian Center, where if you're struggling, maybe if you're doing your meal planning for the week, why not just hop on the Italian Center website?
Yeah.
I mean, you could go on the website. They got a ton of recipes. You could also just go into the store, go right to the front and be like, we're going to have lasagna this night. We're going to have spaghetti and meatballs this night. And, I'm going to make a salad this night. You go over there. Anyway, what I'm saying here is the Italian Center's got you covered. They've got you covered. It's absolutely delicious. Did you go to the Italian Center this weekend? I feel like you might have.
I queued up for the Wayne's National Hockey Card Day sitting behind the Italian Center. Saw one of their trucks, actually, the delivery truck in the morning. He was doing his rounds.
It was loading up.
Drive through the line. So
the inner workings.
Nice. Yeah.
That's cool. I actually got a parking spot there the other day. I was stunned.
Like outside
right in front of the store. I was like,
tough.
holy smokes.
That's tough. You know where I always go? By the trees in the bush
right over
path.
there.
Yeah, that's the secret
It's not
sauce.
bad over there.
Yeah, you're not bad.
It's not bad over there. But you know
getting,
it's a good place
when
it's
tough.
oh yeah.
Tough.
Yeah, it's I almost like if you get a parking spot near the front, you got to walk in there like you're Vince McMahon, like because people are sitting in the cafe watching you and they're like, this guy got this spot. But it's a juicy one.
The espresso cup's lower a bit and they say, who's that?
That's good.
Who's that Don walking in
who's
here?
That? Godfather.
A cream horn for the family.
I need half a dozen cream horns. All right, here's what's good today. I mean, Alexander Ovechkin just broke a record that I didn't think. Like, we witnessed history yesterday.
Powered by spicy Cheetos and Subway.
I mean, he's not in the greatest of shape, but he still just has a wicked shot, which is why, I mean, if he sticks around for another year, and this season's not over, there might be a few more coming.
I'd like to see how far it climbs.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. I'd like to see him take this thing for a little bit of a run. What's good about this is that it's not like the Capitals are a non-factor and he's having a 20-goal season to sort of just milk the record. That's not the case.
The celebrations yesterday almost make it seem like the Caps have already won the opening round playoff series. Like, you know what I'm saying?
We saw a glimpse of how Dylan Strome will celebrate when they win in the first round.
But it just feels like they have a vibe now that they've already gotten through a series before they enter. Like, who is it? Montreal that they'll be playing in the opening round? I mean, Montreal's got, it's the Habs. I get that history and stuff like that, but it just feels like the Caps will be going into the postseason already with a good vibe and mojo given the celebrations yesterday.
Yeah.
Like what more could you want?
It's just impressive that he's doing it in the fashion he is. The Caps are a contender. He is second in the league in goals per game. If he didn't break his leg, he'd have a 50-goal season probably already and would come up short of Draisaitl and the Rocket, but he would have been in the conversation and he would clearly be number 2 in goals right now in year 20. This is not him hanging on for dear life. Like Wayne's last 5 seasons, and Wayne was always more of a playmaker than a goal scorer, but in 94-95, he had 11 goals in 48 games. In 95-96, he had 15 in 62. No, he would have had 22 in 80. That was the year he went from the Kings to the Blues. And then his last 3 years with the Rangers were 25, 23, and 9. 9-70 in his last year. So it's not like it's like Ovechkin's still hitting these lofty numbers. And I think that makes it even more impressive. I think that's why you have to declare him the greatest goal scorer of all time, because even 20 years in, this dude's still scoring at a 50-goal pace, which is bloody ridiculous. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
Imagine if instead of Subway, he was crushing Italian Center Paninos.
I mean, it would.
We're talking.
He might have 1,000 already.
Yeah, might.
He might have 1,000 already. So I think, and I know many of you did not want to see a Wayne Gretzky record fall. I get that. I understand where you're coming from. But I like witnessing history. And I got to watch with my wife and my kids yesterday. We sat down, we watched the entire game. Same thing with Chicago. Once he got that second goal, we're like, boom, let's go. We sat down, we watched the game. The kids and I and my wife will remember that goal forever. Like, we'll be sitting around 20 years ago. I remember when Ovi set the all-time goal. Remember we were sitting there?
You cried.
And I didn't officially cry,
no,
but I did have it was a cool thing to watch history. I mean, it just was.
Yeah. I wept.
So, of course you were. Like, you were crying like a baby. I think I didn't think we'd ever see that record fall. We're not going to see his points record fall. So there are other records that'll be untouchable. I thought this was one of them. And we watched it go down over the weekend. And for me, that's good.
Timber Woodsman not really agreeing. Break a goal record. Here's your painting. He's been on this painting thing since, like, he is really.
Well, I also thought like, you play 1,000 games, you get a silver stick.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
you score almost 1,000 goals, you get a painting.
But what do you think? Like,
I don't know what you give him.
What do you get? Like, what would kind of match that? What gift would match that? I mean, a car. He's got a fleet of cars.
I don't know. The painting did seem kind of lame.
I know. So maybe like nothing. Like you know what I'm saying?
Well, why not like a diamond puck?
Okay, now you're talking. Yeah.
You just put 895 of these things in the net.
Yeah.
Like a diamond puck,
a gold puck,
whatever.
Or whatever.
Gold puck.
Yeah, whatever the most.
Everybody talks about sticks. Let's get this is some sort of precious metal puck.
Precious metal.
I think that's quite something. But I understand where Timber Woodsman's coming from.
I love it, though.
Congratulations on becoming the all-time greatest scorer. Here's a painting
of Gary Bettman.
Now, it was probably a very fancy,
you said it was an artist
painting.
That
it's from an artist. Bettman said it in the presentation.
Personal
he said,
touch.
We know you collect paintings from this Canadian artist. We had it. I want to commission something one day. He's like, we had one commissioned for you. I was like, wow.
Hello.
It would be cool to commission something for someone.
Yeah.
Have you ever commissioned something?
I don't even know what it means.
Me neither, really. It's when you pay somebody to specifically make something for somebody else.
It's like a one-of-one type of, like this was, okay. Well, then that even adds to the whole. I just love Timber Woodsman. He's just pissed. Break a goal record. Here's your painting.
Steady says, guys, without COVID and some lockouts, Ovi conversation would be for 1,000. He'd already be there.
Sure.
I mean, with some of the stuff they missed. And Wayne would have been higher. Wayne had a lockout too.
Hell, he didn't break his leg this year.
Yeah, well, he'd be.
He would have been doing
I think
this.
he'd be at 905 already.
Right.
We've been doing this a little bit earlier on. All right, 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999.
A Louis Vuitton puck, Jasmine says.
Some sort of fancy puck.
A puck or a stick. But how do you, what's the more fancy, like what rare earth
I'm sure
mineral?
the Capitals will have something sweet coming down the pipe.
Why? He's going to, I mean, it's.
He also,
he gets anything he wants. He doesn't need to, what do they say? Doesn't need to buy a meal again.
He's also made over $100 million.
Sure, there's that too.
I think Dreger brought it up, but I did go watch the video. I retweeted it. Him going into his favorite restaurant last night.
Yeah.
2 beers handed to him right away. Like,
they should give him a robot.
Like in Rocky. Remember Rocky Balboa had a robot.
Give him a robot.
Which was that? Rocky 3? Must have been Rocky 3, or was it Rocky 5? No, not Rocky 5.
Like, that'd be an outstanding gift.
Rocky 4, maybe. Which Rocky movie had the robot? Rocky 4, I think. Yes, it was Rocky 4 because Apollo came over to talk to him about fighting Drago. And I think that's when we saw the robot.
Sicko?
I might be wrong.
Sicko?
It was Paulie's robot anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, correct me if I was wrong
Rocky
on
4.
that. Was it Rocky 4?
Yeah.
I knew it. I'm really good at Rocky trivia. Yeah, I have been
Ain't
for a
getting
long
nothing
time.
past you,
I used to go to pubs on Tuesday nights that had only Rocky Balboa trivia.
They love you in the pub.
Yeah, they do. All right, keep the text messages rolling in here. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Nas26 says, if Lemieux played 1,487 games instead of 915 games, difference of 572 games instead of 690 goals, so you have more than 895. No, I mean, Nas, I understand.
If nobody ever got hurt.
I mean, if everything went the way of everybody, all records would be different. I mean, you can say the same thing about Mario maybe taking a run at Wayne's points record.
If Jesse Puljujärvi would have been drafted by another organization that didn't ruin him, he'd be a top 6 forward right now. There's lots of what did they say? If ifs, ands, or buts were candies and nuts, my aunt would be my uncle. Yes. So Nas 26, it's not working. It's this and that, right? I do love the stretch though. It's
yeah. If top 5 goal scorers of all time, Ovechkin. I do think Mario is a more pure scorer than Wayne. I'll say Ovechkin at the top.
Your top 5 stylistic goal scorers of all time.
Ovechkin at the top, followed by, in no particular order, Mario, Wayne, Bossy. And I got such a soft spot for Pavel Bure. That dude was scoring 60 when nobody else on his team had 35 points. I mean, he was a freak. There's some Hull brother, the Hulls you could maybe mix in there, but I'm a big Pavel Bure guy, and I'd probably have him at number 5. Anyway, if you want to play kind of easy trivia, we do have a gift certificate to Mr. Mike's. By the way, I think it was Hampton Steve said he had a front row parking spot at Italian Center. Yeah, how about this? I got a parking spot in front of the Italian Center on Saturday afternoon. Picked up a hot panino for dinner and a take and bake spaghetti for tonight's dinner. Advertising works. Boom.
You almost want to Uber home and leave the car there. Just to
so
get
it's
your
always
worth.
there.
Leave it there for the week. You know, you can kind of.
Holy crap! Tam, what are you doing?
We got a spot.
We got an Uber coming. Why? Do you see the spot I've got at the Italian Center right now?
Hold that puppy.
God. All right. If you want to play kind of easy trivia, gift certificate to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual for grabs. 780-218-9999. Let Trev know that you would like to play kind of easy trivia today. You need to get 3 out of 5 correct, and you will win that gift certificate to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual. Hour number 3, pretty jammed up. We've got kind of easy trivia. We've got 3 questions too many. We've got Ryan Rishaug and the GCL Diesel Orange and Blue Breakfast in one order or another. Marmot Basin Snow Report and the rap for William Huff all still to come. If you want to play kind of easy trivia, 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. That is where you can chime in. Let Trev know that you would like to play, and we will get to that. Somebody says goals per game should be the standard for determining the greatest goal scorer of all time. And if that is the case, Mike Bossy is number 1, and Mary Lemieux is number 2. Cy Denny and Cecil Babe Dye would be 3 and 4. Austin Matthews is number 5. My man Pavel Bure is 6. Ovechkin is 7. And then you get to Wayne Gretzky. So if that is the standard we're going with, Wayne Gretzky is the 8th greatest goal scorer of all time. That's not my take. That's a take from the text there. All right, 780-218-9999. Let's get to a sports update right now for Windsor Plywood, Leduc.
A game day as the Oilers wrap up their 4-game trip in Anaheim this evening. Tom Gazzola, Hernan Salas have your GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows here on EST. Our coverage will start at 7:30. Yesterday, Alex Ovechkin scoring goal 895, passing Wayne Gretzky's all-time mark in a Capitals 4-1 loss to the Islanders. Vegas would edge Vancouver 3-2. Habs topped the Preds 2-1. Wild over the Stars 3-2 in overtime. Detroit defeating Florida 2-1, and the Sens blank Columbus 4-0. Other games tonight, we'll see Winnipeg at home to the high-flying Blues. Kings entertaining the Kraken. Lightning visit the Rangers, and the Flames on the road in San Jose. The Toronto Blue Jays reaching an agreement with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. on a 14-year deal worth $500 million. Jays swept over the weekend by the Mets following yesterday's 2-1 loss. The 5-5 club will continue its road trip later today against the Red Sox to open a 4-game set. First pitch 4:45. Oil Kings dropped Game 6 at home to the Raiders yesterday 4-3. Game 7 goes tomorrow night back in Prince Albert's Art Hauser Center. Luka Doncic, 30 points. Lakers topping the West leading Thunder, 126-99 in NBA action. March Madness final goes tonight between a pair of number ones as Houston take on Florida. Tip-off 6:50 from the Alamo Dome. Scotland capturing gold at the World Men's Curling Championships with a 5-4 win over Switzerland. Canada's Brad Jacobs would pummel China in the bronze medal game to the tune of 11-2. An American Brian Harmon taking the Valero Texas Open by 3 strokes, finishing at 9 under par. Opening round from Augusta in the Masters set to get underway on Thursday. Sports Update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc. Locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and the surrounding area since 93. Doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff at Windsor Plywood Leduc.
Vlad, $500 million for Vlad. It's a lot of money. All right, it is the Nielson Show, kicking off another day here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Thank you very much for being here. Vladdy Guerrero home run song brought to you by Totem Outdoor Outfitters. New gear, used gear, trade and consign. Sport for every season with hockey equipment, skates ready to go year-round. Family store that takes pride in finding the right fit for you. Visit them at 7430 99th Street or online at totemoutfitters.ca. I know baseball fires up for a lot of kids right now. And if you're looking for some baseball equipment, I'm sure they'll have it at Totem Outdoor Outfitters. All right, Nielsen Show today and every day brought to you by our great partners at South Fort Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot at South Fort Chev. 0% financing, OAC for 72 months, or $8,000 saved on the Silverado 1500s 2025 models. You're going to love it. We're coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio today, where finally all of their locations are like, thank God Reed Wilkins is going back to work. Because he's just been hanging out at Popeyes. He's hit them all. Touched them all,
yeah.
Reed.
Yeah.
That's what he did. All right, Ryan Rishaug coming up.
And he pops up out of a booth.
Oh, you guys closing now? Reed, you've been here for 6 hours, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's time to leave. All right. Keep those text messages coming into the Paris Jewelers inbox. Visit them at parisjewelers.com. And, of course, one of your text messages will win the text of the day, which will get you a gift certificate to A&W, where this month they are celebrating the iconic Teen Burger. And we are expecting a Teen Burger food drop this week, which is nice. Nas26 says, good for Ovechkin. Great goal scorer. Still not equal to players like Gretzky and Lemieux. I don't know why Nas26 is so rattled by this.
Who's he?
Alexander Ovechkin's the greatest goal scorer of all time. Nobody's coming in here this morning saying he's the greatest player of all time. You're having like a disagreement with yourself. Ovi's the greatest goal scorer ever. I mean, he is. He did it through a low scoring era. He is. But nobody's saying that he's a greater player than Mario or Wayne.
Some are.
It's okay. Nobody is. Nobody is. I haven't seen that take anywhere all day.
They're out there.
All right. Hey, hammer the thumbs up for us. Let's change 300. We're about 49 away. Trev, who's playing kind of easy trivia today, buddy? Who do we got?
Yeah, this is Red.
Red?
Yes.
All right, Red is going to play today. Trying to get a gift certificate to Mr. Mike's. Are you ready to stake your claim? Head to Mr. Mike's for a 2-course steak dinner for just $39.99. Start with an Emperor Caesar salad or the rustic onion soup, and then enjoy the tender 7-ounce sirloin steak with Bernaise butter sprinkled all over there. Garlic mashed potatoes loaded with savory toppings. Mr. Mike's, eat locally, enjoy casually. Red is going to play today. Needs to get 3 of 5 correct to win the gift certificate to Mr. Mike's. Red, sir, are you ready to go?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. I'll start the ticker after we read the first question. Good luck, man. Who did the Edmonton Oilers lose to on Saturday?
The Kings.
How many goals did the Oilers score in that game?
0.
How many teams remain alive in March Madness?
1.
Which major golf event takes place this week?
The The Masters.
What sport does Lewis Hamilton take part in?
F1.
Boom. 4 out of 5.
No! Oh my God. Damn it, Shake, stop it!
They are going to remember that AM radio is a viable and modern source for news and entertainment.
Totally.
People don't listen to AM like they used to. Seems like it's more about FM and color TV.
That's stupid.
It sure is, Kevin.
I'm stoked. You stoked?
I'm stoked.
Just
I'm
so stoked.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Cannot come to my house. No, not today.
All right, Red gets it done. There's 2 teams left. Now, that being said, UConn did win the women's tournament. I didn't say men or women's March Madness.
5 out of 5.
I just said March Madness. We could maybe give it to him. Whatever. I mean, we don't need a controversy on this one. He already won anyway.
We got enough controversies.
It's okay. There's too many controversies. There's controversies all over the place. From my sweatpants to my Jokic should be the MVP take. Trent Frederick, should he have played? Should he not have played? I mean, who knows?
Will be the greatest of all time?
Oh, he's not. I always say that. He's the greatest goal scorer of all time. Oh. Him or Mario? All right. Let's get into 3 questions too many today. Lieutenant Eric, do you have a liner for the segment?
3 questions too many, brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer Principal Mitch Lewicki, or they will look elsewhere now that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has signed with the Jays. Park Mazda, your dealer for life. They were kind of eyeing him up. If he wanted to...
Who are they? The Red Sox? Take that, Boston.
Funny that series starts today with the deal being
what are the odds of that?
It's sewn up, eh? So
it's perfect.
Yeah. Stick
Just
that
really
in your
sticking
craw. Yeah,
now, Vladdy doesn't have a home run yet this year.
Hey, you know what? Now that he's secured the bag, I think he'll...
Do you think he told him in negotiations that I will not hit a home run until you give me $500 million?
Yes.
That must have been it. That must have been it.
Can't
think of another reason he hasn't hit a bomb yet.
Because he wasn't a show me period of in a sense. Like even if this hadn't gotten done, I mean, he was playing for.
I believe this is the largest contract ever given to a player like on his own team. Because the 2 larger contracts were Ohtani and Soto, and they left. They went somewhere else, right? Like they were free agents.
Oh,
I think this $500 million is the biggest, homegrown, non-free agent contract in the history of the league. So Vladdy did well for himself.
Beat Springer by what, like 350 mil? I think this is what 150 or something like that.
Times have changed in Major League Baseball.
Sure,
must be the pitch clock that's getting these guys all this money. All right. Do you have a Twitter account?
Yes, I do. It's at Lieutenant_Eric. You can follow there and follow Edmonton Sports Talk at YEG Sports Talk. Hey, if you're heading out to the 780 and picking up one of these sweet EST shirts, tweet them at us, X them at us, and we'll give you a little retweet as well.
A lot of people popping up over the weekend on social media with their new shirts.
It's show them off. You buy it, you might as well show them off.
Those EST shirts available at all 780 locations: Londonderry Mall, Southgate Mall, Kingsway Mall, St. Albert Center, and the Outlet Mall by the airport. Hell, I'd book a flight just to go down and get a shirt.
Why not?
I think that's a good idea.
I also tweeted yesterday, it's too hot.
It's funny you say that because I was driving in my truck for a brief moment.
Sun was no joke.
And I was like, man, what is it? It said it was 25 in my truck. Well, I thought, what? And I think it topped at like 18. Clausen will correct us if I'm wrong. But I don't want to be that guy. But yesterday I was like, this is enough.
It's a little hot.
Like, give me 18 and no wind, and I'll take that for the whole summer.
Sure, yeah.
The whole summer, I'd take 18 to 20, no wind. Even though 21 to 23 is my wheelhouse, I take 18 to 20, no wind all summer.
Too hot.
Trev, you said you did disc golf on Saturday. What was your disc golf score?
Well, my brother was keeping track, and then his phone totally crapped the bed.
Oh,
broke.
no.
Yeah, he was not happy.
No.
It was like I've never seen a phone do that. Like lights were flashing. It was like
he didn't drop it or anything. It just started going.
An iPhone?
Google Pixel.
Makes sense then, yeah.
Well, no, they're great phones. What are you talking about?
Doesn't sound like your brother would say that this morning.
Apple products aren't really. I don't know.
This is an iPhone 11 right here. I never had a single issue with it.
All I hear.
Couldn't get my
people
voicemail
complain.
for 2 years, but that was a me thing.
Yeah, but so to start off, I was doing really good. Had a few birdies, few pars.
Nice.
And then the back nine wasn't that great.
Damn.
I was kind of, I don't know. It was the first time out this year,
of
though.
course.
I was slinging it. I had some really good throws, and I had a lot of fun. I love Rundle. It's a really nice course.
I saw Zacticum was at the range last night too, in his journey to break 100.
Yes, episode 2 or
well, I know I just saw he tweeted that. I don't think a new episode has dropped. I could be wrong, but I don't think it has yet.
At the range for the first time this year.
He was at the range.
Yeah,
first time this year.
He means business.
Crouching down.
Yeah, he means business.
Getting in that,
leaning over the children's clubs that he uses.
His ass is gonna be great squatting so much, holding those clubs. Eh? Like
Zacticum, if you want, you can use Marshall's driver.
Yeah, might be
a little bigger,
a little bit longer for you. A little bit longer for you.
Bend the knees more, Zach.
All right, let's get into these questions. I got a couple questions that came from Tube Socks. We'll get to those. But let's start with this one. Guys, am I crazy to think that Pickard should start game 1 of the playoffs?
No.
I don't think you're crazy. I don't know. I don't know what they
no, you're not crazy. And it's 1A, 1A, 1B. They got a pair of 1Bs.
Trev, what do you think?
He's not crazy at all. Look at the stats. Look at the stats. I'm a big eye test guy, but not just from what I've seen. Like, he's playing really steady. He's given the Oilers a chance for the most part every single game when they can score, and their record's really good when you get 900 save percentage, and really good. They're first in the league when the Oilers get 900 save percentage. They are the best team in the league. And so you look at Stuart Skinner's last 5 starts. He doesn't have a 900 save percentage. They're 860, 840, like really bad numbers. I don't know. I'd give it to Calvin Pickard. He's been playing better. He's been the better goalie. Give it to him.
I'm with you. I'm with you guys. Maybe this is the wrong take, but if/when you have to switch goalies to go to the other guy, I think I might be more comfortable putting Pickard in that spot than Skinner. You know what I mean? Like if they fall down in the series 2-1 with Pickard between the pipes, and then you're going to Skinner in game 4 and you're like, hey, dude, save the season for us. I think I'd rather either stick with Pickard or go to Pickard in that spot.
I get that.
Which for that reason, I could be convinced to start Skinner. And it's weird to like start a guy thinking, well, what would be the plan for when you can't stick with him? But I think that's the kind of mindset you probably have to have with Skinner going into the playoffs. So I think, I guess my answer would be I'd be more comfortable bringing Pickard out of the bullpen than Skinner out of the bullpen if need be.
Yeah, I can get down on that.
I think for those reasons, I'd say you start Skinner. But I also feel really dirty to be like, I'm starting Skinner because I know when he gets pulled, I'd feel more comfortable going to Pickard.
You know it's going to happen.
That's what's going to happen.
That's what's going to happen.
Even if it's Pickard, it's going to go the other way too. Like I think you're going to see them both, and I think I'd be more comfortable with Pickard being in the situation he's comfortable with, as opposed to Skinner having to be that guy.
Bullpen Pickard.
What say you? 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. 32 likes away from changing 300. So if you're watching on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. All right, question number 2 from Tube Socks. Guys, were you impressed enough with Trent Frederick in his debut to feel that he brings the kind of edge and versatility that the Oilers will need for the playoffs?
Signs of it, yeah. In the brief glimpse, sure. But I think the problem was that you didn't get a look at him for so long now, and the legend of Trent Frederick precedes himself, right?
But now you get this little sniff, and you're like, "Damn it!"
Yeah, but again,
they should have traded for a healthy Trent Frederick.
Sniff. So I mean, again, that high ankle sprain. Dreger brought it up too. I know Rishaug's been talking about it on his pod. That'll take the toughest guys down. You know what I'm saying? Like that'll prevent you from doing what you want to do and what you can do when you are 100%. So we'll see how that goes. But I mean, again, it's unfortunate it's taken so long because I think that reputation of his has grown so much without being able to see him and critique him properly. But certainly the style of play that he comes as advertised with, sure will help. You mentioned his Netfred presence. I mean, that was, follow me, guys. And he's the only one kind of doing it there. And it's a breath of fresh air. But can he do it? Can he sustain it? And can he kind of heal up and give us the Trent Frederick that you did trade for, not the half or quarter Trent Frederick that might be the reality?
Well, the Trent Frederick they traded for was injured, though.
No, I know.
They knew what they were getting.
The idea of the player who if he is healthy, or I
just hope they didn't give up a second rounder for 7 minutes of Trent Frederick.
Well, you also
even though it
hope
was
that
a
they
really
weren't-
good 7 minutes. Don't get me wrong. I like
but a force-fed 7 minutes in a sense too. You could argue, given the way their roster was, and
I liked them a lot in this small sample size. It's just when you're a unique player that the roster doesn't have, and you do your things, do your job. It's like, oh boy, I can see this,
and it can open things up for other guys.
You would hope.
The whole,
yeah. We'll get into that conversation with Rishaug a little bit. He'll be by in about 10 minutes. Question number 3, also from Tube Socks. It's National Beer Drinking Day. If you were limited to drinking only one style of beer for the remainder of the month, what style would it be? And is your answer different from what it would have been 5 years ago?
Had a lot of beer over the weekend.
Good to know.
Sea Change Red Ale is a great. I love that.
We had Sea Change in studio a couple weeks ago.
But that red ale, like I'm an ale guy, you know this. I like the kind of the dark. I'll have a stout. I had a nice coffee stout at Campio. They have a new bar in the Ritchie Block.
I saw that on social media.
Soft opening. So now you can go visit Corey the Butcher at Acme Meats and go over for a frosty Campio pint.
No complaints.
And a deep dish.
No complaints.
So they have a great coffee stout. It's almost like a cold brew if you're a fan of coffee. 6 o'clock or lager makes the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. That's
easily crushable at any time of the day, any situation, any whatever, right?
But you can only drink one for the rest of the month.
Guinness.
Really? That's your call, hey? Like
I love a creamy Guinness.
But how many Guinnesses can you have? Like I'm just curious because I don't drink Guinness myself. Like so if you're gonna go pull up to the Wood with Tony and Curtis at Westgate BP's, how many Guinnesses can you sit there and have in one night?
I could probably do 6 or 7.
Really? Wow.
Like I couldn't. Like,
I didn't know people drank that many Guinnesses.
They're not. It's not like a high percentage beer.
No,
it's
I know,
like
but
4. It's just
doesn't. I thought it like
if I've got the day like a good shift.
Yeah.
From lunch all the way, and like I can sit there and just sip them.
You just
I'm not crushing them. Yeah, like it's not like I'm not shotgunning or anything.
We're exact opposite, really, on our beers.
It's nice.
For me, it would be tough. I'm an alley cat guy, so I would probably one beer for the rest of the month. I mean, the 6 o'clocker lager, which will be on at the playoffs at Sobeys and Safeway Liquor for $12.99 for a 4-pack of Tall Boys, which is essentially giving it away.
Those orange creamsicle ones, though. I had a few of those.
The orange creamsicle was good.
God,
that was good.
That's like candy in a can, man.
The orange creamsicle one legitimately tastes exactly like an orange creamsicle. Yeah. I don't know how they do it. I think I'd probably have to go.
Ferguson's got it in here, right? No,
what Turd Ferguson say?
Is it the? No, you're the Belgian.
No, I'm a Belgian Moon guy.
Yeah.
But I think if I had to only go one beer for the rest of the month, start barbecuing again and stuff here, I think I'd go Apricot. I love the Alley Cat Apricot. I mean, it's just, to me, it's between my 3 favorite beers.
Why don't we just do an Alley Cat favorite? Like, if you had to drink an Alley Cat beer for
6 o'clocker lager, Apricot, Belgian Moon. Those are my 3 favorite beers. So it'd have to be one of them. But I'd probably go Apricot for the month. I do like it. It is good. You know what I want to do? We should try this. Mix 6 o'clocker lager with the Apricot.
Sign me up.
Hey, you're in. I know you're in, Trev.
I'll have 4 of those.
I know you'd love this.
Yeah.
I think that would be pretty good.
Oh, I think so.
The 6 o'clocker lager mixed with the Apricot.
We should just have a day where we mix
might have that. Do we have 6 o'clocker lagers and apricots here?
We could do that immediately.
We should do that
after
today. Like, I'm pretty sure that fridge must have
it's very pressing
apricot and 6 o'clocker lagers right now.
We have to get to the bottom of this.
I want to see how many Alley Cat beers you can combine at a time.
All of them.
Like, I'm sure you could.
That's probably
no, but I think we take that to the.
Well, we got a bunch of them over there. It's a Monday show.
Yeah.
Why not, boys?
I love Mondays.
I'm doing like on the air when we're done with Rishaug.
It's hot outside.
Let's mix up beers up, and then we'll do the snow report.
Oh, yeah.
I want to do a play on because we watched Mufasa over the weekend. The new live action Mufasa one. Yeah. Pretty good movie, actually. I liked it. Kind of shows the journey of Mufasa to becoming king of Pride Rock. But that little bird from the original one it's the morning report. I want to do that, but for the snow report.
I think
similar song.
I think we got that. We got the budget.
Do we? Let's get into the GCL Diesel Orange and Blue Breakfast. We got Rishaug coming up here as well. The GCL Diesel Orange and Blue Breakfast, obviously brought to you by GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around. From turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. You'll hear Oil Understood, brought to you by GCL Diesel on the Reed Wilkins Show, and then obviously the pregame show tonight, brought to you by GCL Diesel. 7:30 pregame show start with a late puck drop once again as the Oilers wrap up this ridiculously late night road trip.
It continues at home to the Blues on Wednesday.
These starts are too late. Simple as that. All right, let's take a look at your projected lineups for tonight's game. The Edmonton Oilers. We'll have to see what ends up happening here because Frederick only played 7 minutes last game. Draisaitl couldn't go last game. When we last saw them, it was Nuge, Arvidsson, Podkolzin, and Henrique. It was a real mess because Frederick only played the 7 minutes.
Who went on the trip?
He was there with those guys
that haven't played. Like,
nobody now.
So they're all.
That's why I think Frederick had to play. I could be wrong, but I don't think they had another option.
Right, because
Draisaitl out.
Didn't Skinner come on the trip too? Like, or what was the rumor there that some of them are going to like meet them or go on the trip?
There was McDavid's was on the trip, but he's not playing.
Yeah,
Kane's
okay.
on the trip, not playing. Frederick was on the trip, expected to play tonight, but ended up playing on Saturday, and we'll have more on him probably later today. Mark Brown, Skinner, Kapanen, Perry, and Max Jones, Wallman, Bouchard, Nurse, Stetcher, Kulak, and Emberson. As for where the Anaheim Ducks are right now, Ryan Strome between Troy Terry and Frank Vetrano, Leo Carlson having that year a younger guy has as they start to break out. I think he's going to be a monster next year. Carlson between Killorn and Cutter Gauthier. Mason McTavish with Zegras and Colangelo. And then Isaac Lundstrom with Nestorenko and Jansen Harkins. Jackson Lacombe, who's helping me win a 4th consecutive title in the Wandering Cone Hockey League, with Radko Gudas. Minchukov with Hellison. Shillington with Zellweger on the back end for the Anaheim Ducks. As for a list of guys who aren't tough enough to play hockey tonight, let's get into your injury report for Podium Physiotherapy. Knee pain from that nagging ACL injury, hip or shoulder pain slowing you down, back pain after a long day of work, they've got you covered. Whether it's a sports injury, post-op recovery, or the wear and tear of everyday life, the expert team is here to get you back on track at Podium Physiotherapy. Unlock the athlete in you. What do you got?
For the host Anaheim Ducks, Brock McGinn, he drives a truck. Right, he was part of that clip with the.
He was a truck guy.
He's a truck guy from the old Hurricane days. McGinn, Robbie Fabry, Ross Johnston, John Gibson, and Jacob Trouba listed as day-to-day. And for the Oilers, much of the same as what we saw last. Draisaitl, Echo, McDavid, Regula, Kane, Skinner, and it does say listed here Frederick. We'll keep an eye on that and see what his status is closer to puck drop.
All right, watch for that this morning. Well, later this morning
skate,
here, with the skate, and probably some updates provided there. What is your key to a victory tonight against the Ducks? This will be a really nice road trip if they come back 3-1.
Yeah, but the Ducks have played them good this year, and I just same as the San Jose game. I'll say, don't take this as a little event. It's a Monday night. It's late. It's one of those nights again. You're missing your top 2 guys. I get that, but really start to continue. It's one of those nights, too, where I don't really care what the score is, but I want to see a team that goes out there and without their 2 big dogs shows you something.
Game day prediction will be... what do we do here? I'll say Arvidsson stays hot. Let's go Arvidsson goal
Greasy
again.
Arvy.
Yeah, the Oilers can clinch a playoff berth tonight if they beat the Ducks in any fashion and the Flames lose in regulation. Calgary gets the San Jose Sharks tonight. So the Oilers are that close to clinching. It's just a matter of time. They can clinch tonight if they beat the Ducks in any fashion and the Flames lose to the Sharks in regulation. That is actually from NHL Public Relations, so it should be accurate, I would think. Brendan in the house, getting ready for the hangout. The hangout today, Tommy, Maddie, Murray, and Jasmine will be ready to go for you at 9 o'clock this morning. We've got Ryan Rishaug with the morning mandate from TSN and the Got Your Back podcast. Marmot Basin Snow Report still to come. The Rap for William Huff. And if we have Apricot and 6 o'clock or log over there, we should probably mix some up for the boys today.
Them all, baby.
I'm just gonna go take a little peek.
Oh, sure.
I'm gonna go take a little peek while we get into the sports update here for a place where it's always game day. Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Here's the update with LT.
Game day as the Oilers wrap up a 4-game road trip in Anaheim this evening. Join Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas for the GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows here on EST. Coverage begins at 7:30. Yesterday, Alex Ovechkin, goal 895, passing Wayne Gretzky's all-time record, and a Capitals 4-1 loss to the Islanders. Sens would blank Columbus 4-0. Ottawa now 2 points back to the Panthers for third in the Atlantic, as Detroit would knock off Florida 2-1. Habs topped the Preds 2-1. Montreal won 5 straight. Wild over the Stars 3-2 in overtime in Vegas, edging out Vancouver 3-2. Other action tonight, as Dusty mentioned, the Oilers can officially clinch a playoff berth with a win over the Ducks and a Calgary loss as the Flames are in San Jose. Rangers host the Lightning. Big tilt from Winnipeg. The Jets entertain the high-flying Blues, and the Kings are at home to Seattle. The Blue Jays reach an agreement with Vladdy Guerrero Jr. 14-year deal, $500 million, as the Jays were swept over the weekend by the Mets, kicking off a 9-game road trip. The 5-5 Jays trip will continue later today as they're in Boston to open a 4-game set with the Red Sox. First pitch, 4:45. Back over to hockey, the Oil Kings drop Game 6 at home to the Raiders, 4-3. The deciding Game 7 goes tomorrow night back in Prince Albert. NBA action, Luka Doncic with 30 as the Lakers top the West leading Thunder, 126-99. March Madness. Final goes tonight, 6:50 from the Alamo Dome as a pair of number ones will tangle when Houston take on Florida. Scotland capturing gold at the World Men's Curling Championships. They defeat Switzerland 5-4. Canada's Brad Jacobs bringing home the bronze as they hammer China to the tune of 11-2. In Masters Week is on. Opening round from Augusta and the Masters gets underway Thursday. American Brian Harman taking the Valero Texas Open yesterday by 3 strokes at 9 under par. Sports Update is presented by Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Wall-to-wall TVs, daily food and drink specials. It is the place to be for every Oilers game. Every day is game day at Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge.
Timberlake rocks.
Is that a mandate of yours?
God, what are we talking about here? Good question. Can some of it be about sports? Yeah. All he needs to do is just get in front of people and state his case. If they had the mandate from the people, blah, 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 I don't know where that information came from, but I would question it.
Time for the Morning Mandate with Ryan Rishaug.
This is what sports broadcasting is all about.
You know what? That may be a good point, Ryan. You broke the story, Ryan.
Rishaug is one giant 6'2" pile of Charmin.
8:31 on the Nielson Show, brought to you by South Fort Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot at South Fort. Chev 0% financing, OAC up to 72 months. Save up to $8,000 on 2025 Silverado 1500s right now. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. We are 5 away from changing 300 over there. And keep the text messages coming into the Paris Jewelers inbox. One of them will win the text of the day for A and W. We're going to get to the Marvin Basin Snow Report. We're going to get to the wrap for William Huff. And we're going to mix these my two favorite Alley Cat beers together after we're done with the mandate.
We're going to get after it.
Hey, the first 2 beers I saw in the fridge, I went over and I was just like, yep, well, perfect.
Written in the stars.
Definitely have to do that then. All right, we've got Ryan Rishaug for your Monday morning mandates from TSN and the Got Your Back podcast. Shoggy joins us. I think I saw on Facebook over the weekend, he was the man at the grill again. Hey, you got the barbecue fire back up, Shoggy?
Oh, did Randine do something?
I think, yeah. That's, you're not a big Facebook guy yourself, but I managed to creep on your life through your wife, you
know? Why are you friends with my wife on Facebook? One.
I think mostly because she likes to see my kids.
Yeah, she does love your kids.
Yeah,
she talks a lot about how cute your kids are, for sure.
I do produce cute offspring.
Yeah, you do. That Disney stuff was top shelf cute.
That was fun. Yeah.
So yeah, we got the old Traeger going and fired up some steaks. By the way, has anybody gone to buy steaks lately?
Uh-oh.
Anybody seen the price of steak?
Have they been hit by the tariff? Is that what this is?
I don't know. I don't know if there's cow tariffs or beef. I don't know what, but anyway, it was a little bit of a gut punch, but it was worth it. It was Alberta beef we bought, and it was fantastic. So yeah, buddy, like the wheel is turning here. Like everything is, the snow is going away. Randine's getting all fired up. She wants to like get the solarium set up and get the deck ready to go and just like fully get everything up and running.
It's a beautiful.
I'm a little bit skeptical. I know it is. I'm a little skeptical though. There's nothing more disheartening than getting everything set up and then you still get dumped on.
No.
And I don't know if there's another one coming. But from a mental standpoint, I can't handle getting everything all set up and then getting hammered again with snow.
That was the first grill of the year, though, and you decided to go steaks. Like, you're not messing around. You didn't warm it up with burgers or dogs or anything?
And the text went out on the family chat early in the day. Steaks, 6:30, come hungry. Let everybody know on the family chat. And the boys all showed up ready to go.
A steak, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
they brought their appetite.
Yeah, no, that's good. Oh, it sounds nice.
What were the accompaniments, like a baked potato, asparagus, or anything like that?
Yeah, what'd you do?
No, you know what, buddy? No. So we went hard with the steak, Caesar salad, garlic toast. That's it.
That's good.
That's good. Yeah,
exactly what I would do, Shaggy. That's all you need. Like, the steak is the star of the show, right?
It is.
It's Draisaitl with Arvidsson and Podkolzin as wingers for most of the year. That's the meal you had over the weekend.
There's no reason to muck it up with, brown beans or something like that. But here's the thing. If you're going to do that, you got to have enough steak. You got to have enough that people, if they want to go back for another quarter piece, half piece or something like that. And you got to have confidence in your grilling ability, because if you go steak and only Caesar salad and you get people that don't love Caesar salad, they're going to lean heavy on that steak. And if you do a mediocre job, now you've really created problems. So, I felt strong about the performance on the smoker yesterday. It was solid.
The good news for you is that I don't know a single person that doesn't like Caesar salad. It's my go-to. I love Caesar salad. Everybody's fine with
anywhere
Caesar
in the top 12.
Yeah, no, I think that's good.
Yeah, for sure. Good new show alert, by the way.
Okay, what are you watching?
Mobland, I think it's called.
I saw that pop up on my For You on Netflix or Prime or something last night.
With the guy Bane from Batman. What's that actor's name?
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
Yeah,
Tom Hardy. It's got the old Bond guy. Pierce Brosnan is in it. Really, really good. About strong opening couple of episodes. Yeah, it's Yeah, he's like
Which mob is it? Is it like an Italian mob? What type of mob is it?
Where are they? They are in. I don't think they're in Ireland. Either Ireland or England, I think.
Okay. Oh wow. So is it tough to understand?
No.
I mean, worry about that. That's why I didn't watch Peaky Blinders. I couldn't understand what they were saying.
Just put the captions on. You didn't enjoy Peaky Blinders because you didn't understand it?
I watched part of the first season and it seemed like a good show. But I was like, I can't understand what they're saying. It was driving me nuts.
Yeah, you just got to put the captions on. And the other thing, we were talking about this on the show the other night. The other thing I've decided to do, I have gone back and started The West Wing from scratch.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh. Name me a better show. You're probably not going to be able to name me a better show. It is brilliant.
It's pretty bold take to say that West Wing's the greatest show of all time, Shoggy.
I'm telling you. Now, I like politics. I'm kind of into that stuff a little bit. And now that I'm watching it again, I'm much more informed about the way things work. So I understand all the subtleties and storylines. So strong. So good.
Well, that's good to know. Maybe I haven't watched it. Maybe I'll put it on the list. I got a few other shows I still got to get. We're doing White Lotus.
You like the political stuff too, though, right?
White Lotus.
That's
I'm trying to think. I like the episodes of Quantum Leap that involved politics.
Sure,
that was good.
House of Cards.
All right, let's get to the
really crappy thing is you got to buy it. You don't just get to stream it. You got to buy it.
So you're sitting here complaining about the cost of steak, but you're buying West Wing.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Basically, that's what's happening.
You have to choose. The family gets steak next week or you get a season of West Wing. We'll have to see. All right. So 7 good minutes from Frederick, but just 7 minutes. What were your first impressions of the newest Oiler?
I mean, as advertised, right? I think everybody kind of knows that he's going to come out and he's going to throw the body around, which he did. Do I have my main mic? I don't have my good mic on, do I?
No, I think so. I think you sound great.
I don't think I do. I got the default. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay. I noticed I did a couple shows with you guys. I had my crappy computer mic going instead of this thing.
Sounds good. Yeah, that sounds nice.
Oh, yeah, good. I mean, as advertised, he's going to finish checks. That he's going to, work hard. That he's going to not be afraid to hang around in the other team's crease and face wash a few people. He's going to up the compete level of the team. And in 7 minutes, despite the fact that he was hobbled significantly.
Yeah.
He was still able to get some of that stuff done. So if you think there's value in the competitive level and the gamesmanship level of this team going up, this player, if he can stay healthy, is going to help them in that regard. And he threw 2 hits that are a couple of the bigger hits the Oilers have had this season, right? So I that's what he's supposed to do. That's what he did. But without question, I mean, the high ankle sprain, guys, it's a tough one. Like Struds and Brownie were telling their high ankle sprain stories the other night. These things are a nightmare. They're just a nightmare. Like Brownie said, he was taping his ankle for 3 years after his bad high ankle sprain coming out of junior. Struds says his didn't feel better for like well over a year. So as much as everybody's going, well, why is he playing? Why is he playing? Why is he playing? I think with something like this, there's no free ticket to being 100% and not having pain. You got to play through.
You should have named yesterday's pod to the Got Your High Ankle Sprain pod.
Gotcha. For sure. Like, it's
give it you.
Everybody's had one except me on the show. That requires.
But you've had everything else as well. Aside
well,
from
yeah.
it.
Yeah, well, that's why it's called "Got Your Bad Back." That's where that comes from.
I wish
right?
Trent Frederick had gout for this segment alone. Yeah, like just to see what the comparisons are. I think
It's been bugging me. It's been bugging me a little lately. Too much time in the sim is annoying on the big toe.
I'm sure the steaks will get you back.
Yeah, a bunch of red meat really helps with gout. Yeah,
probably. But I wanted to get your thoughts too. Like, what are you pulling away from that loss in LA? I mean, you could kind of look at it and say. Mutter schedule loss under your breath, but given the injuries and everything. But yeah, I mean, a few listeners pointed out, without the big dogs and the Kings only win 3-0. But your thoughts from Saturday afternoon?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that kind of a scheduled loss when you think no Ekholm, no McDavid, no Draisaitl, no starting goalie. Although Pickard, I don't think Pickard was a problem. So wouldn't have expected them with both those guys out of the lineup to have, a point would have been amazing in that game. But what I would have liked to have seen was the offense get something done.
Yeah.
I don't think it's good when you've got McDavid and Draisaitl out of the lineup and everybody else knows, okay, more opportunity here, more offensive time, more time, someone's got to pick up the slack and you come up with squat. I don't like that. But, I mean, who would you think you would lean on in a game like that to try and generate some offense, right? Who would you look to with no McDavid and Draisaitl? Who's been producing a little bit lately, right? So Arvidsson, sure, he's been producing a little bit, so he got some looks. I don't understand how Jeff Skinner plays under 14 minutes with McDavid and Draisaitl out of the lineup. I don't get that. Like, why would you?
I've run out of trying to find answers for those Skinner conversations this year.
Yeah. I know he's an imperfect player. I know he's not the perfect complement to your 2-star guys. I know there's some holes in his game that maybe from a coaching standpoint at times could be frustrating. But if what they say is true, and what they say is that behind the scenes, and I've asked around a lot about this, you guys, how's he been? Like, how's he been behind the scenes? How's he been? And everything I come across says it's been good. Hasn't been pouting, hasn't been complaining, just doing his thing, trying to be a good teammate and going about his business, right? So if that's all true, then, the stuff that we see on the ice, the evidence, it doesn't add up to the opportunity. And when you have McDavid and Draisaitl not playing, you got to lean on some guys. You got to give them some sugar time. You got to say, okay, you're going to be the guy. And Jeff Skinner has been had his hand up for a while here saying, I can be one of those guys. So on that night against a potential playoff opponent here, a likely playoff opponent, he gets 13-37. Like, I don't understand it. Like, let him play through some mistakes. Let him play through some frustration. Make sure he knows what you need. But, like, lean into the guy a little bit in this situation. He's earned that. And I don't get why I wasn't there.
Especially situation of situations right now. You know where you're going to finish the two guys around him. Let him go.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, so just coming out of this little stretch here with these guys banged up, you bring up the Skinner stuff there. Pickard's played well. Like, do you think, has the goaltending conversation been shifted in any way, in your opinion, with Pickard playing so well for the last month and Skinner obviously having some struggles this year to the point where, like, maybe the playoff leash is a little bit shorter? I don't want to go too far with the conversation, but do you think Pickard has changed it a little bit?
I wouldn't say that Pickard has changed it. I would say that Skinner has changed it with this injury. So and people are wanting to talk about this. Like, this is a thing. People are really wanting to talk about Pickard as the starting goalie in the playoffs. And I get it. Like, I get it. But here's where I think it sits. So you've got Anaheim tonight, and you got 5 games left. One of them is a back-to-back. So let's say Skinner was good to go after tonight's game. Let's say he's good to go the rest of the way. You play him against the Blues. You play him against the Sharks. You probably play him against the Jets. You probably give him 3 straight games to try and get back into it and find his game. Then you got to go Pickard against the Kings, or you could flip-flop those two if you want. They're both important games, right? But you're going to give him 3 of the last, if not 4, last 5 games. And the scenario for me, the only way it would change is if Stuart Skinner comes back and really struggles. If he comes back and really struggles and looks like he's fighting to find it, then you've got a tough decision to make, because you got Pickard, who's finished really strong. You've got Skinner, who is nursing an injury to the finish line here and hasn't found his game. Now you got a decision to make game 1 of the playoffs. But it will 100% be Stuart Skinner's net to come back and hang on to when he gets back from this injury. If he plays okay to good, he's the guy. No question in my mind. Okay to good, it's Skinner to start the playoffs. It would have to be him coming back and it being frighteningly no good for them to go the other way to start. That's my opinion on where it sits. You guys?
Well, I said this morning.
You had an interesting.
Well, I like, because we've had a lot of people who are just like, look at the number for Pickard. Like, go with Pickard. But to me, another thing that you could discuss in that conversation is, if things don't go well for the guy who starts a series for you, I think I'm more comfortable going to Pickard coming out. Like, that's his role, right? That's where he would be. So to me, that might even be the biggest driving factor. And you don't want to sit here and go, well, they're going to pull Skinner at some point, and at least you can go to Pickard there, as opposed to having Skinner come in and have to be the guy that has to save a series or something along those lines. I think it's probably most beneficial right now for them to continue in their current roles, because that's what they've been used to, and Pickard can play well in that spot, whereas you don't know what Skinner can do in that spot, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's a little scary. So,
well, and sort of reverse engineer it. Like, let's go with the scenarios. Let's say you start Calvin Pickard and you don't give Stuart Skinner the start of the first playoff game. Oh, right?
Yeah.
For the guy that took you to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final, whatever you want to say about the Vancouver series or one of the goals in Game 7, whatever, he got you there last year. And you're not starting him against a team you've beaten 3 straight years, you're going with the other guy, then what happens if Pickard struggles? Now what kind of headspace have you put Skinner in that you're now bringing him in going, yeah, okay, you're the guy. We believe in you. You're the guy, when you pulled the carpet out from underneath him. It has to be extremely obvious. Stuart Skinner needs to be looking in the mirror going, I probably wouldn't start me.
Yeah.
It needs to make complete sense to him to not get that start in game number 1. If you start Skinner and it doesn't go quite right, you've gone to Pickard before, and Skinner has shown he can regroup from that and pick up the ball and run with it. He's done that. So the risk of starting Pickard over Skinner for game 1 of the playoffs, to me, is a lot greater than if you go the other way and have to make a change, because he's shown you can make that change back. The other thing too, you guys, like Stuart Skinner, this is the year where the Oilers need to figure out, like, can they rely on him, and is he the guy, right? Is he, like, if Stuart Skinner is an issue in these playoffs, the Oilers got some figuring to do in the offseason here. So they need to let him go this year, because the future would say it's either going to be with Skinner or somebody else moving forward. I don't know that Pickard is your answer for the future, right? So figure this out. Give Skinner the ball. Let's see what happens, and make a call on him long-term after this playoffs are done.
Shaggy, quickly before we let you go, can Draisaitl score 50 goals in a season 10 more times to take a run at Ovechkin's record?
Oh, boy.
That would be insane, right? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it would be pretty nuts. Like, the only thing with Leon, but Ovechkin plays a robust style too, like Ovechkin has been banging and crashing in his whole career. I mean, he's a machine. I'm not going to count Draisaitl out. I think if he can keep himself relatively injury free lower body wise, if his knees and hips and all that stuff don't become an issue for him, I would say that Draisaitl certainly has the skill and ability to do it.
He's got that spot on the ice that you can score just a ton of goals from.
He does.
Stand in there, which is he's done a lot of, right? So,
but you know what? One of the biggest things that will contribute towards that is 97 doing a long-term deal and those guys playing together. If Connor McDavid isn't with him, I would say probably not. But if it's McDavid and Draisaitl rolling along together, you're not going to count out any potential options with that duo.
Can you imagine that? Like 7-8 years from now, 9 years from now, having that conversation? That'd be something else. That'd be a great time for the city for sure, as long as they've delivered a couple of cups along the way.
He'd get a painting too.
Maybe he would get a painting as well. That's right.
At a certain point, though, you would like Draisaitl to say to McDavid, "Okay, your turn. Let's get you 60 again. Time for that Connor McDavid again." And maybe they hand it back and forth a little bit, because
50-goal seasons.
Yeah, man, it'd be great for McDavid to recapture that scoring touch. I don't know if he'll get to where he got before again, but would love to see, Leon would probably want to see that out of McDavid's game too.
All right, Shockey, good catching up with you, buddy. You guys post game tonight, I would assume, dropping an epic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you bet. Post game tonight, and then we'll be Struddy's World on Wednesday. Post game Blues. Yeah, we'll be crushing a pile of content this week, and then of course we got Ray and Dregs Tuesday, Thursday, I think this week.
Excellent, good stuff, man. We'll talk to you next Monday.
All right. Yeah, good to chat. See you guys.
There you go. That's Ryan Rishaug from the Got Your Back podcast and TSN. Obviously. All right, we're going to get into your Marmot Basin Snow Report, but let's do this. Hey, so
shall we?
We were talking about it's National Beer Drinking Day. I didn't confirm it. I'm just sort of assuming Tube Socks was right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we are a show that loves beer. So we were asked, which beers would you only drink? So two of my top 3 beers, these are my favorite 2 beers, 6 O'Clocker Lager from Alley Cat and the Apricot. And then I was like, man, these might mix well.
Yeah.
So we actually have Alley Cat glasses. We have glasses from every brewery in the city sitting over there. So let's do a little, we might as well fill these cups up.
Yeah. And then you send them down
slide that
here,
over.
Sure.
You pour the 6 O'Clocker in there. Trev, would you like a beverage here before we get into the
Yes, please.
All right, you got it, Trev. All right.
Drink up.
I think this could be absolutely delicious. Now, the problem is, are we playing with fire when you're taking 2 beers that are delicious and trying to make something better?
You're in the lab.
That's what we are. We're in the lab right now. It's as simple as that. All right. Well, cheers, boys. Cheers to OV
and the painting.
OV, his painting, Vladdy, and the Lakers beating the OKC Thunder yesterday.
Beer.
Oh man, what does it taste like more?
Yeah, it's fine.
It's like
I can't tell if I'm getting it's like
it's like 6 o'clock with the apricot. But you can taste the
ale. It's perfect.
Yeah, that apricot is just a little.
There's like a little
cut. Yeah,
it's a 6 O'Clocker Lager. You're right, with like a little cut of apricot.
You knew, yeah,
perfect.
I like it.
We weren't really we weren't road here. We weren't mixing like
you're a genius.
This is too. Thanks, Trev.
You're a genius.
Trev thinks I'm a genius.
We didn't see this coming.
We've done it, boys.
It tastes like
we've done it.
Apricot and 6 O'Clocker Lager.
Yeah, I mean, what are the odds?
Wait till you shows this spiced rum and Coke, eh?
Yeah, tomorrow I'll mix.
They call it the Dustin
Diet
Nielsen.
Coke with spiced rum. You'll never believe how it tastes.
Now, 2 Dustin Nielsens, please. Excuse me.
Let's get into the snow report from Marmot Basin. This is good.
So stoked. Winter's here. I'm stoked. You stoked?
I'm stoked.
Just so stoked.
Yes.
I mean, it came down last night, what, a good 5 inches?
Last night, I think so. Something like that, and a couple feet the day before.
You've got a 5-foot base with 5 inches of freshie on top.
Uh-oh, I don't have a ski report. Did you get one in your email?
No, but we
luckily the
backup.
website's good.
Yeah.
Skimarmot.com. Check it out. You can click snow report right on the right side. 3 degrees mid-mountain right now. Season total 307 centimeters. 110 centimeters is the base right now. No freshie in the last 24 hours, but they got a bunch last week. And how about this? 9.4 kilometers per hour, the wind right now. Look at all these runs that are groomed. And 5 of the 7 lifts are spinning today. according to the map on the web.
I was expecting to, try it. I was going to say, it's okay, not the best, not the worst. But it is surprisingly good.
Makes my day.
But it is surprisingly good.
Makes my day.
You know what? That clip from the kid works.
First you're mixing the beers, then you're mixing the kid into the Marmot report. That's
me when we're like, let's mix 6 o'clock or lager and the apricot.
I was expecting to, try it. I was going to say, it's okay, not the best, not the worst. But it is surprisingly good.
It is surprisingly good. God, I love Nas. Nas is just on tilt today because Ovi set the all-time goal scoring record.
You know what?
It says Vladdy getting $500 million is bigger than Ovechkin getting $895. Except Nas, you're wrong. Other Major League Baseball players have gotten more than $500 million. Ovi just did something that's never been done before.
Yeah, it's big for
not
the
even
Jays.
close.
Just sorry, man.
All-time bad take.
Whoa, heel Trev is back,
Yikes.
baby. All right, let's get into the wrap. For William Huff, if you want your place to look as good as ours. Hey, and Bruce texted me. William Huff was on Switzerland's curling team. On their arms.
Right?
On their arms.
So he got the gold medal.
Oh, yeah, he's the champion. I mean, look, the bottom line is William Huff knows. They've been doing this since 1952. All right, what did we learn on the show today, boys?
I got my results back from our March Madness bracket.
How'd you do, buddy?
I finished 21,100,000th overall.
That's pretty good. You got to be happy with it.
I'll take it's a nice round number.
Yeah.
You know?
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's what I say.
Not
too.
last, I don't think.
I learned that it's nice doing a show in stylish sweatpants.
That's a good one.
Okay?
And perhaps
very
more in the
comfortable all
morning.
morning. Oh, yeah.
Not just
if
shows.
I can find more of these, I will definitely wear
afternoon
sweats
meetings
more often. It's
You look
pretty
cool,
good.
Dusty. You come in this morning, you look cool.
Oh, sorry, Scotland. I knew it wasn't Switzerland. Bruce just texted me. It was Scotland.
Scotland won.
Because he had a tie there with his
and
family.
they play
so.
Homan tonight. In a battle of the sexes.
battle of the sexes.
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right. Sound of the day. I'll probably go Ryan Strome here, eh?
Why not, eh?
Yes.
Any other? I think we probably go Ryan
Vladdy,
Strome
you could
today.
always.
We could go Vladdy, but let's be honest. The Strome
song's the
song's
biggest
better.
story in sports.
Nas hates OV.
Hey, Pete. Hey, Poho. Tell them what you did. It was a big blockbuster made cause Ebbs was lackluster, so in the end he just had to go. Yeah, that sounds about right. They sent him to New York and they landed Ryan Strome. Now he's got a song on the show. Right. He does all kinds of drills that give you all kinds of thrills, but the thrill he's never known is a thrill like he's dreaming. All the fans are screaming, it's another goal for Ryan Strome. Ryan Strome. Wanna see him dangle Ryan Suter. Strome. Wanna see him be 97 shooter. Yeah. Strome. Wanna see that smiling face. It's another goal for Ryan Strome. That's a very, very good thing.
We know this sexy old lady named Renee Baby who likes to wear men's jeans. She's got a Ryan Strome road jersey and it's bursting right at the seams.
Now this song's designed to blow your mind, but your minds won't really be blown. Like the blow you'll be feeling at Rogers Place screaming, it's another goal for Ryan Strome. Ryan Strome. Wanna see him dangle Ryan Suter.
Want to trade him to get Ryan Spooner. Idiot.
What a trade tree.
God, Shirelli ruined the oil. My God. All right.
Changing 100.
Woo, that sounds nice. Change to 300. We'll take that. All
Ryan
right,
Spooner.
Yeah.
39 points, 54 games for Omps Avangard.
No, it's nice. You should bring him back. You can play him on the line with Tomaszek.
One of those Euros. Yeah.
I think that'll work out well. All right, let's get to your text of the day today for A&W. They've been the best for a long time. Canada's original burger chain since 1956. Why is the teen burger so iconic? Well, thick, juicy, grass-fed beef raised without the use of hormones or steroids, real cheddar cheese, mouth-watering bacon. Think lettuce, onion, tomato, pickles, all topped with that special teen sauce. Now stop thinking about it. Go to your nearest A&W and enjoy the taste of a legendary A&W Teen Burger today. We are expecting a Teen Burger drop-off at some point this week.
I love the undetermined time.
Yeah. Well, I think I have it in an email somewhere, but I like the idea of keeping you guys keeping you guys
I want to be
on your toes.
I'm edging.
I love this one. Let's go here for text of the day today. Scuba Steve. YouTube Trev is the Murray McCourt of disc golf.
I love it.
I love that, eh?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Is that not the same?
Oh, that's a good
you
one.
could give Zach
I didn't see that one.
pointers and tips. Yeah. kind of out of nowhere. Scuba Steve. Trev is the Murray McCourt of disc golf.
Oh.
I love it. That's great. That's great. All right, so there we go. Congratulations. That's awesome. I love it. Murray's locked and loaded. He's going to be hopping on the hangout right away.
Masters week.
With Jasmine. It is Masters week. Murray, when do you leave for Masters? Tomorrow?
Oh,
Tomorrow night,
the vibes will be high.
Oh, he's ready. He's excited. He'll have more on that coming up on the hangout. But Scuba Steve, congratulations. Text of the day. What are we watching tonight? Before the Oilers game, which starts after bedtime.
Home and Mowat.
Yeah,
Scotland v. Canada.
What time does that get going?
Probably it's in Toronto, so I would assume maybe like 5 or 6 or something like that. But yeah, lots of stuff to go. I mean, Jays this afternoon, 4:45.
With Vladdy's new deal in his back pocket.
Didn't even take a gander. I mean, today in the NBA pair of games. March Madness final tonight as well.
Madness final tonight.
We're cooking here on a Monday.
You don't need to worry about the NBA tonight. It's
Jets,
the Sixers
Blues.
and Heat, the Kings and the Pistons.
Jets Blues.
Gross. Jets Blues is good.
Hell of a game.
Oh, it's a lot to watch tonight. We'll be breaking it all down tomorrow morning. The hangout is coming up with Maddie, Tommy, Jasmine, and Murray. It's going to be a good one. If you're watching on YouTube, turn on autoplay. That'll take it right on over. I'll be back with the Lock Shop at 11 for YouTube Trev and Lieutenant Eric. I am Dustin Nielson saying thank you very much for watching. Smash the thumbs up before you leave, and I'll talk to you at 11 o'clock. Take it easy.